At sunrise, 7 jade slips spoke at once. Qin Yue had faced sword formations capable of reducing stone towers to dust, without allowing her hand to tremble. Yet when the silver characters appeared above her jade slip, the eldest disciple of Hidden Cloud sect forgot to breathe. O 7 Hearts Cultivation System activated. Primary objective: increase Lu Shen's genuine affection. T disciple with the highest resonance may become his destined cultivation partner. A sword slipped halfway from its sheath across the room. Qin Yu caught it before it struck the floor. For several quiet breaths, she stared at the glowing words. Then another notification appeared. Initial mission assigned. Ask Lu Chen for advice and sincerely follow it. Reward: affection evaluation unlocked. We expression became colder. The system did not disappear. In the neighboring residence, Sumei read the same opening announcement twice. Her pale blue sleeve rested beside a tray of medicinal herbs she had been sorting since before dawn. She examined the jade slip for traces of illusion, poison, soul manipulation, or poorly concealed humor. She found none. Her personal mission appeared beneath the announcement. Prepare something Lu Chen genuinely needs. Warning: value is determined by sincerity and understanding, not expense. Sumei considered the line, glanced toward the kitchen pavilion, and began reviewing everything Lu Chen had eaten during the past year. On the training peak, Zhao Lan nearly dropped the stone pillar she was carrying. She lowered it carefully, wiped the dust from her black and gold sleeve, and read her mission aloud. Receive 1 sincere compliment from Lu Chen. The pillar struck the ground hard enough to disturb 3 birds. Zhao Lan smiled. That should be easy. A second message appeared. Forced compliments will not qualify. Her smile faded. Inside the illusion pavilion, Bai Ning reclined among 7 perfect copies of herself. All 8 women read the announcement together. The real Bai Ning touched 1 finger to her lips. Destined cultivation partner? 7 illusions smiled. Her personal mission emerged. Make Lu Chen voluntarily spend private time with you. Now that, Bai Ning said, sounds entertaining. Across the formation courtyard, Tang Lin had already drawn the opening notification onto a sheet of paper. She circled the words genuine affection, highest resonance, and may become. The word may concerned her. It introduced uncertainty. Then her mission appeared. Help Lu Chen complete a task without controlling his decision. Tang Lin frowned. Helping someone without controlling the method seemed needlessly inefficient. On Moonwatch Peak, Shen Yu closed her silver-white eyes and searched the immediate future. She saw Qin Yu holding a sword, Su Mei carrying a bowl, Zhao Lan dragging Lu Shen toward the training field, Bai Ning standing beneath false moonlight, Tang Lin adjusting a formation, Lin Xiu hiding behind a spirit fox. Then she saw all 7 visions collide in the same dining hall. Her personal mission appeared. Make 1 meaningful choice, without consulting fate. Shen Yu opened her eyes. That is unreasonable. The system remained silent. At the spiritual beast garden, Lin Xiu held her jade slip above the head of a small white fox. Bao, look. It says I might marry junior brother. Bao stared at the glowing words with bright golden eyes. Lin Xiu's short black hair shifted as she leaned closer. You already like him best, don't you? Bao yawned. That means you approve? Her mission appeared. Prevent Bao from revealing the system to Lu Chen. Lin Xiu looked down. Bao looked up. Both moved at once. The fox seized the jade slip in its mouth and vanished beneath a fence. Bao! A bell rang from the main sect hall. 7 women emerged from 7 different courtyards and arrived beneath the ancient bronze bell within moments. Qin Yu's red and black robe settled around her as she surveyed the others. Every woman held an identical jade slip. No one spoke. Bai Ning broke the silence first. Well, this is unexpected. You received it too, Zhao Lan asked. Tang Lin unfolded 3 pages of notes. The wording appears identical, but our missions may differ. Why would Master give us this? Su Mei asked. 3 expressions changed at once. Master Yun had distributed the sealed slips the previous evening. He had instructed them to open the seals at sunrise and promised to explain everything when he returned. He had not returned. He may have been delayed, Qin Yue said. Shen Yu looked toward the upper mountain path. I cannot see him. Zhao Lan folded her arms. That usually means he has hidden himself because he knows we are angry. That is possible, Bai Ning said. He did just inform 7 women that one of them might marry the same man. Lin Shui arrived carrying Bao beneath one arm. The fox still held her jade slip. We cannot tell junior brother yet. Obviously, Tang Lin said. We don't understand the system. I understand the important part. Zhao Lan replied. No. Sumei said gently. You understand the loudest part. Qin Yu raised one hand. We investigate Master's disappearance first, until we know what this system is. No one mentions it to Lu Chen. 7 jade slips chimed. A temporary cooperative agreement detected. Collective stability increased. Bai Ning glanced down at her interface. That was easy. A second notification appeared. Current ranking. Wow. 119. All candidates tied. The 7 women looked at one another. Their agreement lasted until a quiet footstep sounded behind them. Lu Shen stood at the edge of the courtyard in white outer robes and a dark navy inner garment patterned with restrained lines of gold. His tousled black hair was still damp from washing, and the calmness in his eyes suggested he had spent the hour before sunrise meditating. His gaze moved across 7 senior sisters, 7 jade slips, and 1 fox being held upside down. Did something happen? 7 hands moved behind 7 backs. No, Qin Yue said. Nothing. Sumei added. We were discussing breakfast, Bai Ning said. Zhao Lan looked at her. We were? Tang Lin stepped on Zhao Lan's boot. Lu Shen considered them for a moment. Is there something wrong with my breathing technique? Qin Yu ate. Why would you ask that? All 7 of you were staring at me through the courtyard formation while I cultivated. Silence returned. Shen Yu quietly turned her face away. Lu Chen touched his chest. The third circulation felt uneven. I thought you might have noticed something. Sumei recovered first. You should eat before we examine it. Her system flashed. Opportunity detected. She smiled. Come to the dining hall. The long table in Hidden Cloud Sect's dining hall had accommodated generations of disciples. That morning, it proved too small for 8. A bowl of pale medicinal porridge waited at Lu Chen's usual seat. Sumei had added clout grain, mountain dates, and exactly half the amount of bitterroot used in the traditional recipe. Beside it sat Zhao Lan's contribution. A plate stacked with roasted spirit beast meat and enough rice for 3 cultivators. Bai Ning had transformed the plain dining hall into a moonlit pavilion overlooking a silver lake. Tang Lin had rearranged the seats using a minor directional formation. Shen Yu had chosen the chair Lu Chen was statistically most likely to take. Lin Shui placed Bao on the cushion beside her and whispered instructions into one pointed ear. Qin Yu stood at the head of the table, trying to determine when she had lost control of breakfast. Lu Chen entered and stopped. Moonlight touched his white robes despite the morning sun outside. A formation line glowed beneath the floor. 7 different meals occupied the table. Are we comparing cultivation diets? He asked. Zhao Lan pulled out the chair beside her. Yes. Sumei pulled out the chair on his other side. Not exactly. Tang Lin tapped one finger against the table. The floor formation rotated. Both chairs slid away. A third chair arrived behind Lu Chen. The central position distributes spiritual warmth equally, Tang Lin explained. Bao leapt onto the chair. Lin Shui smiled. He chose my side. Bao is not junior brother, Qin Yue said. He represents the beast peak. Lu Chen picked up the fox and set it on his shoulder. Bao immediately released the jade slip it had been hiding beneath its chest. Lu Shen caught it. 7 women froze. The jade was warm, but its surface appeared blank. 7th senior's sister. Is this yours? Lin Shu crossed the distance in 2 steps and took it. Training a record? For Bao? Yes. What are you training him to do? Keep secrets. Bao made a pleased sound. Lu Shen looked at the fox, then at Lin Shu. You may need a different method. Qin Yu closed her eyes briefly. Lin Shu's system chimed. Mission failure avoided. Progress. Bao has not revealed readable information. After several more adjustments, Lu Shen sat at the center of the table. He tasted Sumei's porridge first. She waited with perfect composure. You reduced the bitterroot. You dislike it when the bitterness remains after the meal. It also interferes with the final circulation of the nameless foundation art. Sumei's eyes sharpened. Does it? It did. Yesterday, she had not known that. Her choice had been personal rather than medicinal. Mission completed. Lu Chen received something he genuinely needed. Affection increased. A faint warmth passed through the jade slip hidden within her sleeve. Across the table, 6 women looked toward her at once. Lu Chen tasted Zhao Lan's spirit beast meat. It contains enough fire essence for physical training, he said. Zhao Lan leaned forward. And you roasted the outside too quickly. Her shoulders lowered. The center is good, Lu Chen added. Your control has improved. Compliment detected. Eval Lan waited. Compliment concerns. Charity. Zhao Lan waited. Compliment concerns. No Lan waited. Compliment concerns. Cooking control not candidate. Partial progress dot. What does that mean? She muttered. Lu Shen looked up. Third senior sister. Nothing. Bai Ning rested her chin on one hand. Junior brother. Do you like the view? The illusion? Yes. The lake reflection is beautiful. Her smile deepened. But the western moon is 3 finger widths too low. It pulls the false light against the grain of the floor formation. Bai Ning looked toward the false moon. Tang Lin did the same. That explains the interference, Lu Chen continued. If fourth senior sister raises it slightly, fifth senior sister can reduce the southern formation current. Tang Lin took out a brush. Bai Ning dismissed the moonlight. The plain dining hall returned. No, cultivation research during breakfast. Qin Yue said. 7 system interfaces display different amounts of progress. Lu Shen finished eating without realizing that he had become the center of the most competitive breakfast in Hidden Cloud Sect's history. When Master Yun still had not returned, the humor left the hall. His residence stood above the main courtyard beneath an ancient pine. The front door was unlocked. Qin Yue entered first, one hand resting near her sword. Lu Chen followed, while the others spread through the rooms. Master Yun's travel cloak hung near the wall. His medicine pouch remained beside his bed. A half-finished cup of tea sat on the desk, the liquid long cold. He did not prepare for a journey, Sume said. Tang Lin inspected the windows. No external formation was broken. Shen Yu stood before a bronze cultivation lamp. A small blue flame burned within it. His life flame is stable. He is alive. Zhao Lan released a breath. Then we find him. Lu Chen crouched near the back wall. A thin layer of dust covered the floor except where several grains had shifted beside an old cabinet. He moved the cabinet aside. Behind it was a stone door carved with 7 clouds surrounding an empty circle. Tang Lin joined him. This passage should not exist. It has always existed, Lu Chen said. Master told me never to open it. 7 faces turned toward him. You knew about this, Qin Yu asked. I knew there was a sealed maintenance passage behind the residence. I did not know where it led. He touched the outer carving without sending spiritual energy into it. The 7 clouds felt warm. The center was cold. Shen Yu attempted to look beyond the door. Her pale eyes lost focus. A moment later, she stepped back. There is nothing. Bai Ning studied her. Nothing behind the door. Nothing in fate. The path disappears. Qin Yu drew her sword 1 finger width. Then we open it. Wait, Lu Chen said. She paused. A hair-thin black line ran between 2 of the carved clouds. Lu Chen traced it without touching. This is not part of Hidden Cloud Sect's formation. If we force the door, whatever left this trace may realize we found it. Tang Lin knelt beside him. At first she saw only stone. Then Lu Chen shifted the lamp, changing the direction of the shadow. The black line appeared. It is hiding beneath the original formation, she said. Can you preserve it? With time. Qin Yu returned her sword to its sheath. Her system displayed, Mission Opportunity. Ask Lu Chen for advice and sincerely follow it. She looked at him. What do you recommend? The other 6 sisters turned toward her in disbelief. Qin Yu ignored them. Lu Shen glanced from the black trace to Master Yun's life lamp. We preserve the room, search for anything he left intentionally, and inspect the outside of the mountain before opening the passage. If he wanted us to enter immediately, he would have left the seal open. Qin Yu wanted to disagree. Every instinct urged her to cut through the obstacle and reach their master. But Lu Shen was right. We follow Junior Brother's plan. Mission progress. Advice requested. Completion pending sincere adherence. They searched the residence again. Sume found no hidden medicine. Bai Ning dismissed 3 minor illusions. Master Yun used to conceal snacks and old gambling debts. Tang Lin found a key that opened nothing in the room. Lin Shui discovered that Bao had already eaten half the dried fish beneath Master Yun's bed. Lu Shen examined the desk. 1 sheet of paper looked newer than the rest. When he held it above the cultivation lamp, 8 words emerged. Protect the 7 peaks. Trust the center. A deep bell rang from below. Once, twice, 3 times. Sect intrusion. Qin Yue turned before the 3rd note faded. The 8 disciples reached the spiritual spring courtyard, as 20 cultivators in iron-gray robes crossed the outer gate. The man at their front wore a narrow sword, and the expression of someone certain the argument had already been decided. Wei Feng of Iron Sword Sect, he announced. We have come to assume temporary control of Hidden Cloud Spring. Zhao Lan stepped forward. Qin Yue lifted one hand, stopping her. Wei Feng's gaze passed over the 7 women. Recognition replaced impatience. The 7 flowers of hidden cloud. Bai Ning's expression cooled. No one calls us that to our faces, she said. Wei Feng appeared to reconsider several life choices. Then he noticed Lu Chen standing behind Qin Yue with a box of formation tools. You, he said. Take these documents to your sect master. Lu Chen accepted the documents. Zhao Lan stared at Wei Feng. Sumai covered a smile with one sleeve. What? Wei Feng asked. Nothing, Lu Chen said. Master Yun is unavailable. I will review them. Wei Feng frowned. You are authorized. He is the 8th direct disciple of Hidden Cloud sect, Qin Yue said. Wei Feng looked at Lu Chen's modest aura, the toolbox, and the 7 senior sisters surrounding him. Understanding entered his eyes. Not accurate understanding, but understanding. So you are the famous little junior brother. I did not know I was famous. You are discussed. Bai Ning's smile returned. I would be careful which discussions you repeat. Wei Feng gestured toward the spring. Iron Sword sectored toward the spring. Has supplied protective materials to this region for 3 years. Hidden Cloud. Sect agreed that if the spring fell below functional output, temporary management would transfer to us. Lu Chen read the documents. The seals were real. The signatures appeared authentic. The agreement referred to a decline in spiritual output beginning 6 months earlier. Master never mentioned this, Qin Yue said. Perhaps he did not wish to trouble his disciples, Wei Feng replied. Most of you are rarely here. The words struck closer than he knew. Lu Chen continued reading. The clause authorized immediate occupation, if the spring's output fell beneath 1/3 capacity. When was the spring measured? He asked. Yesterday. By whom? A neutral assessor. Where is the record of the lower channel? Wei Feng hesitated. The spring has 1 channel. It has 3. Tang Lin glanced at Lu Chen. 2 have been closed for decades. Closed channels still affect output. Wei Feng's patience thinned. The facts are simple. The spring is failing. Your sect cannot maintain it. Then why is the moss beneath your left boot growing toward the mountain instead of the water? Wei Feng looked down. Green moss covered the stone near the spring, its narrow leaves leaning away from the pool. Lu Chen set down the documents. Spiritual plants turn toward the strongest energy source. The spring is not producing less energy. Something is diverting it underground. Wei Feng's expression changed slightly. Tang Lin extended her senses. I detect no diversion formation. Neither do I, one of Iron Sword Sect's formation cultivators said. Lu Chen walked toward the pool. The water appeared clear. Gentle ripples moved outward from the center. Then the wind changed. For one breath, the ripples reversed. Lu Chen crouched and removed an ordinary gray stone from the edge. Nothing was carved on it. He placed it beside a second stone. A nearly invisible thread of black energy passed between them. Tang Lin's eyes narrowed. An inverted natural formation, built to resemble erosion, Lu Chen said. Each stone is meaningless alone. Wei Feng approached. You expect us to accept that on your word? No. Xin Yu's hand rested on her sword. Wow. Xin Yu's hand rested on her sword. Can settle the matter now. Her jade slip warmed. Omission incomplete. Wow. Budar sincerely follow Lu Shan's advice. She looked at Lu Chen. What do you propose? A foundation trial. Wei Feng laughed once. Qin Yu did not. Lu Shen pointed toward the courtyard boundary. If Iron Sword Sect wins, we allow a neutral group to inspect the spring and the documents. If Hidden Cloud Sect wins, your delegation withdraws while both sects investigate whoever planted this formation. And who represents your sect? I do. Zhao Lan started to speak. Sumei caught her sleeve. Wei Feng studied Lu Shen again. You are at Foundation Establishment. 3rd stage. Yes, I am at 7th stage. Yes, and you still challenge me? I am proposing a trial. I am proposing a trial. Not a death match. Wei Feng looked toward the 7 senior sisters. Will they accept the result? Qin Yue answered without hesitation. We will, her system chimed. Mission completed. Odd sincere trust confirmed. A soft warmth passed through the formation beneath the courtyard. Lu Chen felt it enter his meridians and vanish before he could identify it. Wei Feng stepped into the marked square. So be it. The rules were simple. No lethal techniques. No external treasures. Victory by surrender, disarmament, or forcing the opponent beyond the boundary. Wei Feng drew his sword. Lu Chen selected a wooden practice sword from the rack. Iron Sword disciples exchanged amused looks. Lu Chen's senior sisters did not. Qin Yue watched his stance. It was the first stance she had taught him 10 years earlier. Feet balanced. Shoulders relaxed. Sword centered. Nothing advanced. Nothing impressive. Nothing wrong. Wei Feng moved first. His footwork crossed half the courtyard in one breath. The narrow sword flickered toward Lu Chen's shoulder. Lu Chen stepped aside. The blade missed by less than a finger. Wei Feng turned and struck again. Lu Chen retreated along the edge of the square. 3 attacks became 6. 6 became 12. Wei Feng's sword gathered a pale metallic aura. Lu Shen's wooden blade remained ordinary. "He's being overwhelmed," an Iron Sword disciple said. "No," Qin Yue replied. Wei Feng's attacks forced Lu Chen backward, but never toward the same section of the boundary twice. Lu Chen was not fleeing. He was measuring. Wei Feng shifted into Iron River steps, an advanced movement art built around continuous pressure. His right foot crossed. His sword descended. Lu Chen blocked for the first time. The impact drove him back 2 steps. Wei Feng followed. Lu Chen blocked again. His wooden sword split near the tip. Wei Feng smiled. "You cannot win by avoiding me." "I know." Lu Chen's gaze settled on Wei Feng's hips, knees, and ankles. Iron River steps carried momentum forward. Iron River steps carried momentum forward. Each transition required the practitioner's weight to pass across the front foot for the smallest fraction of a breath. Against an equal opponent, that weakness was nearly impossible to exploit. Against someone who had practiced the same basic movement 10,000 times, it was visible. Wei Feng attacked. Lu Chen stepped inside the sword's optimal range. His broken wooden blade touched Wei Feng's wrist, not hard enough to injure, only enough to alter the angle. At the same moment, Lu Chen's foot blocked the place where Wei Feng needed to shift his weight. Wei Feng's next step had nowhere to land. His momentum carried him sideways. He crossed the boundary. Silence covered the courtyard. Wei Feng stared at the line beneath his boot. Lu Chen lowered the broken sword. "You rely on the 3rd transition before your weight is settled." Wei Feng looked at him. "You saw that during the trial? After the 7th attack? Then why wait? I needed to confirm you repeated under pressure." Qin Yue felt the resonance move again. Not from the system alone. For one instant, Lu Shen's calm decision carried the edge of sword intent. Not an imitation of her path. Its foundation. Clarity. Direction. One decisive action. Wei Feng returned his sword to its sheath. "I lost." Several Iron Sword disciples looked ready to protest. He silenced them with a glance. "We withdraw after inspecting the evidence together." The ground shook. The spiritual spring rose in a black column. Stones Lu Chen had identified lifted from the courtyard and locked into a rotating ring. Black threads connected them. The hidden formation had awakened. "Back!" Tang Lin shouted. The outer disciples scattered. A pressure wave struck the courtyard. Zhao Lan planted herself between it and the retreating group. Her reinforced boots carved lines across the stone. But she held. Su Mei threw medicinal talismans into the air. Pale blue light spread over the youngest disciples. Bai Ning raised an illusionary wall around the courtyard, hiding the eruption from the village below. Shen Yu closed her eyes and followed the black energy underground. "It leads toward Master's sealed passage." Lin Shu released Bao. The fox slipped between the rotating stones and vanished into a drainage gap. Tang Lin formed seals with both hands. "The formation is using the spring as its core. If I destroy the center, the stored energy will erupt." Qin Yu drew her sword. "Which connection?" Tang Lin saw hundreds. Lu Chen saw the moss. Every plant leaned toward one point beneath the western wall. "There," he said. 3rd thread below the cracked stone. Qin Yue did not hesitate. Her sword left its sheath. A red line crossed the courtyard. The chosen thread broke. The rotating stone slowed. 5th senior sister, reverse the southern node," Lu Chen said. Tang Lin changed her seals. "That will force the energy east. 3rd senior sister can hold the eastern wall." Zhao Lan shifted position. "Ready." 2nd senior sister. "Protect her meridians from the backlash." Su Mei sent 3 blue talismans toward Zhao Lan. 4th senior sister, conceal the spring's true position. Bai Ning replaced the central pool with an illusion of empty stone. The formation's searching threads struck the false image and tangled. 6th senior sister. "Tell me when the underground current turns." Shen Yu watched a future only half a breath away. "Now." Lu Chen drove the broken wooden sword between 2 ordinary stones. The formation's current reversed. Black energy surged toward the mountain, met Tang Lin's altered node, and folded back into the spring. The water exploded upward in a harmless silver column. The black threads shattered. One fragment tried to escape beneath the western wall. Bao emerged from the drainage gap with a black talisman clenched between his teeth. Lin Shu caught him. Good Bao. The fox released the talisman and immediately demanded food. The fragment bore a symbol like a closed eye beneath a broken crown. Wei Feng's face darkened. I have seen that mark. Where? Qin Yu asked. On the package containing the spring assessment. It disappeared after we opened it. Who sent it? A merchant intermediary. I will find him. Qin Yue turned toward the mountain path. A distant figure moved between the trees. She took one step. Lu Shen caught the change in her posture. Eldest senior sister. Her hand tightened around her sword. The enemy was escaping. Every instinct demanded pursuit. Then she remembered the hidden passage, the unstable spring, and the disciples behind her. She returned her sword to its sheath. We secure the sect first. Her jade slip pulsed. Old trust maintained under pressure. Resonance increased. Current rank. First. The 6 other sisters received the ranking change simultaneously. Bining's smile became very still. Tang Lin began recalculating. Zhao Lan looked personally offended by the concept of points. Sume glanced at Qin Yue, then at Lu Chen. Ling Xu whispered something to Bao. Shen Yu saw 7 different arguments occurring after sunset and decided not to mention any of them. The spiritual spring settled. Its output climbed steadily as the stolen energy returned. Wei Feng watched Tang Lin confirm the recovery. Our information was false, he said. Iron Sword Sect will withdraw its claim. Lu Chen handed him a copy of the Black Talisman's mark. If someone wanted our sects fighting, they may try again. Wei Feng accepted it. You could have allowed your senior sisters to remove us by force. That would have solved today's problem and preserved whoever created it. Wei Feng looked toward Qin Yu. The rumors about you are inaccurate. Lu Shen considered that. What rumors? Wei Feng decided not to answer. By sunset, the Iron Sword delegation had departed. The spring produced more spiritual energy than it had in months. Tang Lin sealed the Black Talisman inside 3 containment formations. Shen Yu confirmed that its trail led toward the Forbidden Passage, but the source remained hidden. Lu Chen returned to Master Yun's residence with Qin Yue. The others were restoring the courtyard and treating exhausted disciples. The stone door remained closed. The 8-word message waited on the desk. Protect the 7 peaks. Trust the center. Qin Yue stood beside the cultivation lamp. You knew my sword would cut the correct thread. You asked for my judgment. That is not the same as trusting it. Lu Chen looked at her. When I was 12, you told me that hesitation after choosing a sword path was more dangerous than choosing imperfectly. I remember. I used your lesson. Qin Yu's expression softened by a degree most people would have missed. You also used my earliest footwork. Against Wei Feng. I still practice it. Every day. Master said a foundation becomes useful after a cultivator stops finding it interesting. A quiet laugh escaped her. It was brief but genuine. You protected the sect today, Lu Chen. So did everyone. That does not reduce what you did. The words settled more deeply than he expected. For years, his senior sisters had crossed provinces, defeated powerful enemies, created medicines, repaired ancient formations, and earned names recognized across the 9 provinces. Lu Chen had remained on Hidden Cloud Mountain. He repaired roofs. He maintained paths. He fed spiritual beasts. He repeated basic movements. Today, those movements had mattered. A faint pulse passed through his meridians. He closed his eyes. The nameless foundation art circulated by itself. For the first time, its shapeless spiritual energy developed direction. One breath. One purpose. One invisible edge. When Lu Shen opened his eyes, Qin Yu was watching him. What happened? I am not sure. On the wall behind them, one of the 7 carved clouds began glowing red. Far above the residence, the first dormant spiritual peak answered with a beam of pale light. Every disciple on Hidden Cloud Mountain looked up. Beneath Lu Chen's feet, something ancient turned once and became still. That night, the 7 senior sisters gathered inside Tang Lin's formation courtyard. 3 concealment barriers surrounded them. Bao sat in the middle, chewing dried fish. Qin Yu stood with her arms folded. Bai Nang leaned against a pillar. Sume poured tea. Chao Lan paced. Tang Lin had drawn the current system information across an entire board. Shen Yu sat near the window. Lin Shui guarded the door, although Bao had already entered through a gap beneath it. Tang Lin pointed toward the board. Eldest senior sister currently holds first place. I can read, Zhao An said. Then you understand the problem. Qin Yu's gaze sharpened. Problem. You gained a substantial advantage through one act of trust. It was not performed for the system. That appears to be why it was valuable, Sume said. Bai Ning examined her jade slip. Expensive gifts are worthless. Manipulated situations are unreliable. False affection is rejected. Genuine understanding produces the greatest return. Lin Shui raised her hand. Bao understands junior brother better than all of us. Bao looked up. You are not a candidate, Tang Lin told him. The fox returned to his fish. Shen Yu spoke quietly. We should focus on Master's disappearance. All 7 women became serious. The Black Talisman had confirmed that an enemy was operating beneath Hidden Cloud Mountain. Their master was alive, but hidden beyond a path. Shen Yu could not see. Lu Chen's cultivation had resonated with the mountain after connecting with Qin Yu's sword path. These facts were related. We investigate at first light, Qin Yu said. Tonight, we ensure the sect is secure. The jade slips chimed. What else resonance established? DUS 6 connections remain. New collective objective unlocked. Back. Protect the center. 7 women read the final line. In another courtyard, unaware of their meeting, Lu Shen repeated the first sword stance beneath the moon. His wooden sword moved once. The air separated with a soft note. He stared at the blade. Then he returned to the opening stance and began again. Deep beneath Hidden Cloud Mountain, far below the sealed passage, a vast cavern remained without light. 7 chains stretched across the darkness. One was marked by the image of a sword. It cracked. A pair of eyes opened beyond the broken seal. The first path has awakened, a man's voice said. Black spiritual energy rose around an ancient stone platform. And the empty center still does not know what he is. Before dawn, every medicinal plant in Hidden Cloud Valley died. The first outer disciple to discover it dropped his watering jar beside the path. Moonlight still covered the terraces. Rows of cloudgrass had collapsed into gray threads. Red heart flowers curled inward, as though scorched by invisible fire. Silverleaf vines hung from their frames without color, while 300-year frost orchids had become brittle enough to crumble beneath the wind. At the center of the valley, one flower remained alive. Its petals were black. A thin vein of dark light pulsed through its stem with the rhythm of a heartbeat. The outer disciple struck the alarm bell. Sumai reached the valley before the final note faded. Her pale blue robes swept across the stone path as she passed the first terrace. One glance at the nearest plants erased the softness from her expression. No one enters the lower fields, she ordered. Seal both irrigation channels. Cover your mouths and circulate no spiritual energy until I confirm how this spreads. 3 outer disciples obeyed immediately. A 4th tried to answer and swayed. Lu Chen caught him before he struck the ground. The young man's skin felt cold. His pulse remained steady, but the spiritual energy inside his meridians moved in broken intervals. Su Mei knelt beside him. Did you touch the plants? No, senior sister. I only drank from the morning basin. Which basin? The eastern one. Zhao Lan arrived carrying 2 more weakened disciples. 1 beneath each arm. They drank from the same place. Put them on clean ground, Su Mei said. Do not circulate your body technique. I feel fine. That was not a diagnosis. Zhao Lan lowered the disciples. Qin Yue began evacuating everyone living below the valley. Bai Ning concealed the dead terraces behind a curtain of morning mist, so panic would not spread to the village. Tang Lin inspected the protective formations. Shen Yu stood near the entrance, searching possible futures for signs of a second attack. Lin Xu crouched beside the black flower, while Bao remained several steps behind her. Fur raised. He does not like it, she said. That makes 2 of us, Lu Shen replied. He studied the valley. The plants closest to the irrigation channel had died. So had the plants farthest from it. Several rows between them remained upright despite losing all color. If poison had spread through water or soil, the pattern should have followed distance. This pattern followed something else. Su Mai placed 2 fingers against the unconscious disciple's wrist. Pale blue spiritual energy entered carefully, then stopped. Her hand trembled once. The movement was small. Lu Shen noticed. What did you find? The poison interrupts spiritual circulation every 9th pulse. The plants died in rows of 9. Su Mei looked toward the terraces. Lu Shen traced the planting pattern with his eyes. Not water, he said. Circulation. Tang Lin joined them. The valley formation carries spiritual energy through all 9 terraces before returning it to the spring. Something entered the spring. Something entered the spring. Returning current, Su Mai said. The plants with the strongest spiritual roots absorbed most. Zhao Lan looked at the black flower. Then we destroy that. No, Su Mei and Lu Chen said together. Zhao Lan folded her arms. Su Mai stood. It may be gathering the poison. Destroying it could release everything stored inside. Then what do we do? First, we stop the circulation. Tang Lin glanced toward the formation stones. If I shut down the whole valley, the remaining medicinal roots will lose protection. They are already dying, Lu Chen said. Living roots can be replanted. Poisoned energy entering the mountain cannot. Tang Lin needed only a breath to accept the logic. She moved toward the central array. Sumei began issuing instructions. Move the weakened disciples to the old alchemy pavilion. Use ordinary stretchers, not flying artifacts. No one should circulate more energy than necessary. Boil water from the western well. Do not use anything connected to the valley. Qin Yu repeated the orders to the outer disciples. Lu Chen lifted the first patient. Sumei cocked his sleeve. Do not absorb the interrupted current. I wasn't planning to. You always use your foundation art to understand unfamiliar energy. Usually, after you tell me it is safe. Her expression suggested that this distinction, provided less comfort than he intended. A translucent notification appeared beside Sumei's shoulder. Only she could see it. New personal mission. Allow Lu Chen to care for you. Reward. Medical path resonance. Sumei's eyes moved across the words. Then to Lu Chen. Junior brother, you may assist me in recording the patient's symptoms. Mission conditions not met. Administrative assistance is not personal care. Sumei's smile tightened. Lu Chen shifted the unconscious disciple in his arms. Did the system say something? No. He looked at the empty air beside her. Since the previous day, his senior sisters had developed a habit of glaring at spaces where nothing existed. He had concluded that Master Yun's jade slips contained distracting instructions. He had not yet discovered what those instructions were. Take him to the pavilion, Sumei said. I will examine the flower. You told everyone not to approach it. I am the healer. That means the restriction matters more for you. That means the restriction matters more for you. Not less. Sumei met his gaze. He did not move. After a moment she stepped away from the lower terrace. We examine it together after the patients are stable. The system remained silent. At the old alchemy pavilion, 12 sleeping mats became treatment beds. The affected disciples shared the same symptoms. Cold skin, stable physical pulse, interrupted spiritual circulation every 9th beat. None had touched the dead plants. All had consumed water connected to the valley or practiced cultivation within range of its formation. Sumei prepared a mild clearing medicine. It reduced the cold but did not remove the interruption. Lu Chen recorded each response. The 9th patient recovered slightly faster than the others because his meridians were wider. The 3rd became weaker after trying to circulate spiritual energy. The poison reacts to resistance, Lu Chen said. Sumei nodded. The harder they force energy through the interruption, the more tightly it closes. Across the pavilion, Zhaolan rolled her shoulders. Sumei looked at her. You circulated your body technique. I stopped when you told me. You were carrying 2 patients uphill, with my muscles, not spiritual energy. Lu Chen examined the faint darkness near Zhaolan's wrist. 3rd senior sister. She hid her hand behind her back. It is nothing. That is what 2nd senior sister said. Sumei's gaze shifted toward him. I did not say, that. You were going to. Zhaolan laughed. Sumei did not. A notification appeared before Zhaolan. You knew personal mission. Complete 1 peaceful activity with Lu Chen. Reward body path resonance. Zhaolan read it twice. Then she looked through the pavilion doors toward the large water jars waiting in the courtyard. Junior brother, carry water with me. Sumei turned. She needs to remain under observation. We need clean water, Zhaolan said. You are affected, peacefully affected. Lu Chen considered the jars. The western well is uphill. If we carry them without spiritual energy, we can test whether physical exertion accelerates the poison. Zhaolan pointed at him. Exactly. That was not your original reason, Sumei said. It can be 2 things. Lu Chen selected the 2 largest jars. Zhaolan took the other 4. Sumei watched them leave. Mission progress detected. Genuine invitation confirmed. Her own message remained unchanged. Sumei returned to the patients with more force than necessary. The western path climbed through a cedar grove before reaching an old stone well. Lu Chen carried 1 jar on each shoulder. Zhaolan carried 4 tied across a wooden frame. Neither used spiritual energy. You can tell me if your wrist worsens, Lu Chen said. You can tell me if those jars become heavy. They are already heavy. She looked at him. That was honest. Was I supposed to pretend? Some men do. Why? 2. Appear strong. Lu Chen adjusted the wooden pole across his shoulders. If I pretend they are light, They will still be heavy. Zhao Lan considered this and nodded. That is why training with you is peaceful. They walked another 20 steps. You think this is peaceful? Lu Chen asked. No one is attacking us. That is a low standard. It hush. Worked so far. At the well, they filled the jars and began descending. Zhao Lan's breathing remained controlled, but the darkness at her wrist spread by half a finger. Lu Shen stopped. Put them down. I can carry them. I know. Then why stop? Because proving you can continue does not prove continuing is useful. Her expression changed. Years earlier, when Lu Chen had first joined Hidden Cloud sect, Zhao Lan had taught him to hold a horse stance beneath the waterfall. He had lasted less than 10 breaths. She had praised him for standing again after every fall. She had never praised anyone for stopping. The system notification appeared. Peaceful activity completed. Lu Chen willingly shared physical effort. Affection increased. Additional evaluation. Candidate ignored signs of personal strain. Compatibility improvement reduced. Zhao Lan frowned at the final line. Lu Shen had already taken one of her jars. I can carry it, I know, he repeated. You do not have to carry everything you can lift. The words stayed with her as they returned to the pavilion. By midday, the valley formation had stopped completely. The remaining plants continued weakening, but the corruption no longer spread toward the main mountain. Sumei had treated 19 disciples. Her face remained composed. Her spiritual circulation did not. Each time she used healing energy, the interruption inside her meridians deepened. Lu Chen noticed when she reached for a medicine bottle and missed it by the width of a finger. He caught the bottle. You should rest. After I stabilize them. You have already stabilized them. I have slowed the poison, which is all you can do until we find the source. Sumei took the bottle from him. The source is the black flower. No, it is collecting the result. She looked at him. Lu Chen laid 9 patient records across the table. The first 3 drank from the eastern basin. The next 4 cultivated beside the upper channel. 2 worked in the storage pavilion. Their exposure points are different, but the interruption is identical, because the valley formation connected them. Ice, but the black flower grew after the formation became corrupted. Something else introduced the poison. Sumei followed the records. The 9-pulse pattern was too precise to be natural. An alchemy furnace, she said. Lu Chen nodded. A furnace controlled spiritual circulation through repeated cycles. If someone had connected one to the valley's returning current, every plant and cultivator inside the formation would become part of the refinement process. Sumei reached for her medicine case. Her fingers shook again. Lu Shen placed his hand on the lid before she could lift it. You are affected. I entered the valley before we understood the poison. How far has it spread? It has not impaired my judgment. That was not my question. Lu Chen? Second senior. Sister. The pavilion became quiet. Sumei rarely raised her voice. Lu Shen rarely refused her instructions. You are not my patient, she said. You taught me that symptoms do not care about titles. I also taught you not to diagnose beyond your ability. I am not diagnosing you. I am asking you to stop hiding something that affects the mission. The words struck cleanly. Sumei looked toward the patients. Every person in the room depended on her. That was exactly why she could not become one of them. I can continue, she said. I know. The same words he had used with Zhao Lan. You do not need me to protect you from discomfort, Sumei said. No. I need you alive enough to cure everyone tomorrow. The system appeared beside her. Mission opportunity. Accept care without disguising it as work. Before she could answer, a ceramic basin shattered near the entrance. Zhao Lan stood beside it. The darkness had reached her elbow. She took 1 step and fell to 1 knee. Sumei moved first. Lu Shen was beside Zhao Lan before the broken pieces stopped rolling. Do not circulate, Sumei ordered. I wasn't. The poison has entered your body technique. I only carried water. Physical exertion accelerated your blood and meridian. Rhythm, Lu Shen said. The poison does not require spiritual energy once it has entered. Zhao Lan tried to rise. Lu Shen pressed 1 hand against her shoulder. Stay. You ordered me. Yes. Despite the situation, a faint smile appeared on her face. That sounded convincing. Then her strength failed again. Sumei opened her medicine case. I can suppress it for 2 hours. And after that? Xin Yue asked from the doorway. Sumei did not answer immediately. Xin Yue had returned from inspecting the lower channel. Tang Lin stood behind her holding a piece of darkened formation stone. We found where the returning current leaves the valley, Tang Lin said. It passes beneath an abandoned furnace house outside the western boundary. Lu Chen looked at Zhao Lan. Lu Chen looked at Zhao Lan. Then we go now. Su Mei administered the suppressing medicine. Zhao Lan's breathing stabilized, but the darkness remained. You stay here, Su Mei told her. No, you cannot use spiritual energy. I still have muscles. That reasoning is why you are on the floor. Zhao Lan looked toward Lu Chen. He considered the terrain, the furnace, and the possibility that they would need someone capable of controlling heavy structures without circulating large amounts of energy. You come, he said. But you follow instructions. Su Mei stared at him. Lu Chen added, including hers. Zhao Lan rose with his support. That is acceptable. The abandoned furnace house stood where the cedar forest met the western cliff. Its roof had collapsed years earlier. Vines covered the walls. No smoke rose from its chimney, but the stones beneath the building were warm. Tang Lin found the hidden entrance behind a false section of cliff. Bai Ning dismissed the illusion. With a sweep of violet light, a narrow stairway descended underground. The air smelled of metal and bitter herbs. Qin Yu wed with her sword drawn. Lu Chen followed beside Su Mei. Zhao Lan walked behind them under Lin Shu's watchful gaze, while Bao moved along the wall with his nose close to the stone. The stairway ended before a bronze furnace 3 times taller than a man. 9 black tubes extended from its base into the mountain. The same flower from Hidden Cloud Valley had been carved across its doors. A gray-robed man stood beside it. He appeared old, with kind eyes and a healer's medicine box. You arrived sooner than expected, he said. Su Mei's gaze moved over the furnace. You poisoned our valley. I came to cure it. He opened his medicine box. 9 white pills rested inside. 1 pill for each circulation interruption. Administer these, and your disciples will recover before sunset. Lu Chen looked at the pills. Their fragrance was clean. Too clean. Su Mei took one without touching it directly. She examined its surface, broke off a fragment, and dissolved it in clear water. The water turned pale green. It will open the blocked meridians, she said. The old healer smiled. Then we understand each other. It will also weaken them. Only temporarily. How temporarily? A second treatment will restore them. And that treatment? The old man closed the box. I require access to Hidden Cloud sect-sealed library. Qin Yu's sword left its sheath. He showed no concern. Reject me if you wish. The first interruption will become permanent within hours. Su Mei studied the dissolved pill again. The medicine did not remove the poison. It trained the patient's meridians to depend upon a second substance. The cure was another chain. You are Elder Han, she said. The man's pleasant expression remained. So my reputation has reached Hidden Cloud Sect, Black Heaven Hall, Qin Yu said. The words seemed to darken the room. Elder Han's gaze moved toward her. A talented diviner, then toward Lu Chen. And the empty center. Lu Chen had heard the phrase twice now. What does that mean? You practice 7 foundations and possess none of their paths. A vessel prepared to receive, yet containing nothing. Qin Yu's sword, aura pressed through the chamber. Elder Han touched the furnace. Attack me, and the stored poison enters every water source on the mountain. Tang Lin extended her senses toward the 9 tubes. He is telling the truth. Partly, Lu Chen said. Elder Han's eyes narrowed. The furnace cannot release everything at once, Lu Chen continued. Its circulation is incomplete. Su Mei understood. The black flower. It was the furnace's missing collection vessel. As long as the flower remained intact, the poison had somewhere to gather. Elder Han smiled again. You learn quickly. He struck the furnace. All 9 tubes lit. The suppression medicine inside Zhao Lan's body failed. She caught herself against the wall. Su Mei staggered as the interruption inside her own meridians tightened. Elder Han stepped backward into a formation circle. Bring me the library key before sunset. Otherwise, watch your valley become a burial field. Qin Yu cut toward him. Her sword passed through an empty image. Bai Ning dismissed the illusion, but the formation circle was already vacant. He prepared an escape route, Tang Lin said. The furnace thundered. Black energy surged into the 9 tubes. Su Mei fell against the bronze door. Lu Chen caught her. Her skin had become cold. I can stop it, she said. You can barely circulate. Then help me establish the first route. The system appeared. Direct request for care detected. Mission completion available. Su Mei closed her eyes for one breath. Years of medical training had taught her to remain calm while others depended on her. She could diagnose pain without sharing it, carry fear without displaying it, and work until everyone else was safe. None of that taught her how to become the person receiving help. She opened her eyes. My meridians are damaged, she said. The interruption began before Xiaolan collapsed. I hid it because I believed losing the healer would frighten the others. Qin Yue's expression tightened. Sumai looked at Lu Shan. I need your help. Mission completed. Genuine vulnerability accepted. Medical path resonance established. Warmth moved through Lu Shan's chest. This time it did not vanish. The nameless foundation art reacted. He sensed Sumai's spiritual energy not as power but as structure. Thousands of connected roots. Some carried energy. Some carried medicine. Some protected organs, bones, memory, and consciousness. Through them ran the black interruption, closing every 9th junction. Lu Shan placed 2 fingers against Sumai's wrist. I cannot remove it. I know. I can show you where it repeats. That is enough. He circulated the nameless foundation art slowly. Its plane energy entered only the outer edge of her meridians. The poison moved to block it. Lu Shan withdrew and entered through another route. The poison followed. Each movement revealed another part of its pattern. 3rd lower channel, he said. Sumai redirected her energy. 6th heart branch. She adjusted again. 9th junction beneath the shoulder. Pale blue light returned to her fingers. Sumai took one of her own clearing pills and dissolved it with spiritual energy. Instead of pushing the medicine directly against the blockage, she circulated it through the safe route Lu Chen had mapped. The darkness beneath her skin receded. Not gone. Controlled. She released a slow breath. The system's resonance settled between them. Lu Chen understood the first principle of meridian restoration. Healing was not forcing damaged energy to obey. It was finding a path through which the body could repair itself. The furnace shook. A crack appeared in the floor. Tang Lin inspected the outer formation. The furnace is drawing energy from the valley. If we cut the tubes now, the stored pressure will return through the channels. Can we shut it down? Qin Yue asked. Not while it is circulating. Zhao Lan stepped toward the furnace. I will break it. Su Mei caught her arm. Direct force will spread the poison. Lu Chen. Touch the bronze surface. The furnace responded to physical pressure by accelerating its circulation. Elder Han had designed it to feed upon attempts to destroy it. 3rd senior sister pushed against the left support. Zhao Lan placed one hand on the bronze frame. What am I feeling for? Where it moves. She applied controlled pressure. The furnace shifted by less than a finger. Energy surged toward the tubes. More force makes it circulate faster, she said. Yes. So I cannot break it. You can keep it from breaking. You can keep it from breaking. Zhao Lan looked at him. A second crack crossed the floor. The furnace was overloading. If its frame ruptured before Sumei reversed the poison, the stored energy would enter the valley uncontrolled. Lu Chen pointed to the 2 main supports. Hold them together. No strikes. No sudden force. That is all. It is the part no one else here can do. Zhao Lan positioned herself between the supports. Her stance lowered. Both hands pressed against the bronze. The frame tried to expand. She held it. At first she used only physical strength. Then the poison inside her reacted. Pain tightened her arms. An instinct urged her to release the full power of her body cultivation. Lu Shen saw the shift. Do not fight the furnace. It is trying to crush me. Guide the pressure into the ground. Her feet adjusted. The force passed through her shoulders, spine, hips, and legs. Stone cracked beneath her boots. The furnace stopped expanding. Zhao Lan's eyes widened. Her body had always been a weapon. For the first time, she used it as a structure. Ilbody path understanding deepened. It counted at accepted restraint. Resonance established. Another current entered Lu Chen's foundation. Bones, balance, breath. The relationship between force received and force returned. Tempered body did not begin with striking harder. It began with remaining stable. Tang Lin placed formation markers around the chamber. I can isolate 7 tubes, but the last 2 are connected directly to the valley. Sumei looked at Lu Chen. The poison repeats every 9th pulse. If we reverse the circulation at the interruption, the furnace will draw back what it released. That will pull the poison through whoever establishes the reverse route, Qin Yue said. Sumei did not deny it. Lu Chen examined the formation. The furnace recognized alchemical energy. It would resist Sumei immediately. His own energy remained plain, empty, according to Elder Han. He understood why that could be useful. I enter first, he said. No, 3 sisters replied. The furnace does not recognize my path. Because you have not developed one, Qin Yue said. That does not make this safe. It makes me difficult for the poison to classify. Sumei studied the tubes. He only needs to establish the route. I can reverse it once the pattern appears. Chen Yu disliked the plan. The furnace shifted again. Zhao Lan's boots sank deeper into the stone. There was no time for a safer one. What do you need? Qin Yu asked. Cut the 7th tube when Tang Lin marks it. Not before. Qin Yu nodded. Lu Chen sat before the furnace. He placed both palms against the lowest formation ring, and began circulating the nameless foundation art. Black energy entered his meridians. Cold spread through his arms. He did not force it back. He followed. The poison closed the first route. Lu Shen redirected. It closed the second. He redirected again. Each interruption revealed the furnace's internal pattern. 9 chambers, 9 pulses, 9 returns. The same principle Sumei had shown him inside damaged meridians. Expanded across an entire valley. Now, Tang Lin said. Qin Yu's sword flashed. The 7th tube separated. The furnace's rhythm changed. Sumei, her pale blue energy entered behind Lu Shen's foundation current. The furnace recognized medicine and attacked it. Lu Chen shifted his route. The poison followed him instead. Sumei's energy passed through the opening. 3rd pulse, Lu Chen said. She turned the 1st chamber. 6th, the 2nd chamber reversed. 9th, Sumei completed the cycle. The black flower in Hidden Cloud Valley opened. Every dead petal lifted toward the sky. Stored poison rushed from its stem back into the irrigation channels. The furnace roared. Zhao Lan's arms trembled. Hold, Lu Chen said. I am holding. The chamber walls shook. Tang Lin redirected the returning energy through the isolated tubes. Binding covered the true current with an illusion, confusing the furnace's defensive formations. Shen Yu called each pressure change half a breath before it arrived. Lin Xue and Bao guided the remaining outer disciples away from the underground channels. Qin Yu waited beside the marked support. The furnace's outer shell began glowing. Sumei continued reversing its circulation. Now, 3rd senior sister, Lu Shen said, only the shell. Zhao Lan released one support, turned her palm, and struck the weakest bronze seam. She did not use her full strength. She used the exact amount required. The outer shell split. Black energy escaped upward instead of into the tubes. Qin Yue cut through the exposed formation core. Tang Lin sealed the 9 channels. Binding's illusion collapsed over the released poison and redirected it into the empty collection circle. Sumei closed her hand. The poison condensed into a black crystal, no larger than a fingernail. The furnace went silent. Lu Shen remained seated for 2 breaths. Then his arms lost strength. Sumei caught him before he fell forward. The cold inside his meridians lingered, but it no longer interrupted the flow. You followed it too far, she said. I needed to see the final chamber. You always say that. I have never entered an alchemy furnace before. That does not improve your explanation. Zhao Lan released the broken frame and sat heavily against it. I thought it was a good explanation. Sumei looked at her. Zhao Lan raised both hands, resting. Outside, the first color returned to the valley. Not everywhere. Most of the rare frost orchids were gone. The red heart terraces would require replanting. Several ancient roots had absorbed too much corruption to survive. But the remaining cloudgrass lifted from the soil. Clean water entered the eastern basin. At the alchemy pavilion, the affected disciples' circulation stabilized one by one. No miracle restored what had been lost. The valley would need years to recover its rarest medicines. For Hidden Cloud Sect, the damage mattered. Sumei stood among the gray terraces, after sunset. Lu Shen joined her carrying a basket of surviving roots. I should have detected the furnace sooner, she said. It was hidden beneath a formation designed to deceive healers. I entered the valley without protection. So did I. You followed my manual. You followed my instructions. Most of them. She looked at him. He corrected himself. Some of them. The edge of her mouth lifted. Then she looked across the dead fields. These plants were entrusted to me. The roots in this basket are alive because you reversed the poison. That does not restore the others. No. We restore those ourselves. He set the basket between them. We still have Moonvine near the northern wall. The cloudgrass seeds were stored outside the formation. Frost orchids are difficult, but Iron Sword Sect grows them in its upper valley. You intend to ask Wei Feng. He owes us an investigation. Sumei looked at Lu Chen for a long moment. His solution did not deny the loss. It simply began after it. Tomorrow, she said, you will let me examine your meridians. Agreed, and you will rest tonight. I plan to cultivate. That was not one of the options. A system message appeared. A medical path resonance stabilized. Sume read it. Without triumph. This increase did not feel like winning. It felt like being understood. On the training field, Zhao Lan stood in a horse stance while balancing a bowl of water on each shoulder. Lu Shen approached after leaving the valley. What are you doing? Practicing restraint. You usually use stone weights. Stone does not spill when I move incorrectly. One drop slid over the rim. Zhao Lan adjusted her breathing. The furnace taught me something. That bronze is harder than it looks. That too. She lowered her stance. I always believed strength meant continuing after everyone else stopped. It can, but not always. No. She looked at the bowls. When I held the furnace together, using more power would have made me fail. You controlled the pressure. I was stronger when I stopped trying to prove I was strong. The system appeared. E-body path resonance stabilized. Affection increased. Zhao Lan smiled. Then she noticed Lu Chen swaying slightly. Sit. I am fine. That is what second senior sister said. Lu Chen sat. Zhao Lan handed him one of the water bowls. Drink. He examined it. Is this from the Western Well? Do you think I would give you valley water? No. Then drink before Sumai discovers you are still awake. He obeyed. Over the following 3 days, Lu Shen practiced the 2 principles the furnace had revealed. At dawn, he circulated spiritual energy through damaged roots without forcing them. At midday, he trained his body to receive pressure and distribute it through balance rather than resistance. At night, he combined both. His meridians widened. His stance settled. The sword intent formed during his battle with Wei Feng remained at the center, providing direction. Meridian restoration gave his energy a safe path. Tempered body gave that path a stable vessel. On the 4th morning, 2 barriers inside his foundation opened within the same breath. Spiritual energy crossed the 4th stage. Then the 5th. No heavenly light descended. No mysterious treasure appeared. Lu Shen completed the final circulation and exhaled. A crack beneath the training platform closed instead of widening. Qin Yue had watched from the edge of the courtyard. Foundation establishment. 5th stage. Lu Chen opened his eyes. Yes, you advanced twice. I had been near the 4th stage for several months, and the 5th, he considered the new stability within his body. I finally understood why Master made me practice 7 types of basic exercise. Do you know what your path is becoming? No. Qin Yue looked toward the 3 faintly glowing peaks. Neither do I. Wei Feng arrived that afternoon with 2 carts of frost orchid roots and a bound merchant intermediary. The man had transported the false spring assessment and Elder Han's alchemy materials. He knew little about Black Heaven Hall, but he carried a token marked with a closed eye beneath a broken crown. Wei Feng also brought a metal plate recovered from the merchant's warehouse. A coded sentence had been carved across it. When 7 paths are isolated, the empty center will open. Tang Lin compared the carving with the black talisman. The energy signature matches. Shen Yu touched the plate, and immediately withdrew her hand. It points beneath the mountain. Lu Chen turned the plate over. A second line had been scratched into the back with a much smaller blade. The handwriting was familiar. Master Yun often used the same hurried strokes when leaving instructions he believed were perfectly clear. Do not let them separate. The 7 sisters gathered around the message. For once, none of them looked at their rankings. Far beneath Hidden Cloud Mountain, a second chain tightened around the darkness. The sword-marked chain was already cracked. Beside it, 2 more symbols began to glow. A medicinal leaf. A clenched fist. The man beyond the seal watched their light spread across the cavern. 3 paths, he said. A shadow moved behind him. Elder Han failed. He revealed what he was meant to reveal. And the empty center? The man looked upward, toward the distant pulse of Lu Chen's newly strengthened foundation. He is learning to connect them. Black energy gathered around the sealed platform. Let him continue, above. Lu Shen held Master Yun's warning while his 7 senior sisters stood around him. None of them noticed the system's newest message until it appeared across all 7 interfaces. A3 resonances established. EA4. Connections remain. Warning. External force is attempting to isolate all candidates. Collective failure condition detected. The warning remained across all 7 interfaces. External force is attempting to isolate all candidates. Collective failure condition detected. Tang Lin copied the message beneath Master Yun's warning. Do not let them separate. Qin Yue studied both lines. They know about the system. Not necessarily, Shen Yu said. They may know what it was designed to accomplish. What was it designed to accomplish? Zhao Lan asked. No one answered. Lu Shen stood on the other side of the table, turning the recovered metal plate beneath the light. He could not see their notifications, but he recognized the silence that followed one. "What changed?" "Nothing," Binding said. 6 women looked at her. She corrected herself. Something unhelpfully vague changed. "What did it say?" "That our enemy wants us separated." Lu Chen placed the plate beside Tang Lin's notes. "Then Master's warning confirms it. You are not surprised?" Lin Shu asked. "What?" "Found attacks targeting eldest senior sister's sword path, second senior sister's medicine, and third senior sister's body cultivation. Separating the 7 of you already appears to be part of their plan." He looked at the metal plate again. "The question is why they called me the center." Tang Lin unrolled the copied formation records from the Spiritual Spring and Medicinal Valley. The answer may be in 7 Lantern City. 3 days earlier, she had received notice of the city's annual formation gathering. Among the archives being displayed was a fragment recovered from the ruins of an ancient hidden cloud outpost. Master Yun had applied for access before his disappearance. His request had been approved. "We'll leave at dawn," Qin Yu decided. Together, 7 system interfaces chimed. Collective decision accepted. Warning remains active. Lu Chen looked toward the soundless space beside them. "Well, is that good or bad?" "Unclear," Sumai said. "That seems common." 7 Lantern City appeared beneath a sky filled with floating lights. Hundreds of towers rose along a broad river, their curved roofs joined by bridges and suspended walkways. Lanterns hovered over every street despite the morning sun. Some burned with ordinary flame. Others held illusions, formation markers, advertisements, or recorded messages. Lu Chen crossed the final ridge beside Bai Ning. The city gate stood less than 200 steps away. He glanced at her. Bai Ning wore her purple and silver robes, but something about her smile was wrong. 4th senior sister. "Yes, where is the real you?" The woman beside him widened her violet eyes. 6 more Bai Ning stepped from behind the roadside trees. One wore a teasing smile. One looked offended. One yawned. One inspected her nails. One leaned close enough to study his face. The 7th stood silently beneath a flowering branch. "You noticed before the gate," all 7 said. Lu Shen examined them. Their clothing was identical. Their breathing matched. Even the purple ornaments in their hair moved with the same breeze. "Should I choose?" "If you can." Tang Lin stopped behind them. "We do not have time for this. It is relevant training," Bai Ning replied through 7 mouths. "For whom?" Junior replied through 7 mouths. "Brother." A system mission appeared before the real Bai Ning. "You create a moment Lu Chen wishes were real. Current opportunity. Demonstrate that you understand how he sees you." She dismissed it for later. Lu Chen walked past the first illusion. Then the second. He stopped before the Bai Ning beneath the flowering branch. This one. The remaining 6 dissolved. The real Bai Ning lifted one eyebrow. "How? You always watch the other person when waiting for a reaction." "The illusions watched me. You watched them to ensure they behaved correctly." Bai Ning's smile shifted. For once it was not theatrical. A warm chime sounded inside her interface. Lu Chen recognized the candidate through behavior rather than appearance. Affection increased. Lu Chen looked toward the empty air beside her. "Did I pass?" "You did." "What was the reward?" Bai Ning stepped around him and continued toward the city. "Private information." Tang Lin watched her leave. Then her own interface appeared. A new personal mission. Arrange one genuinely unplanned moment with Lu Chen. Tang Lin stopped walking. The others passed her. She read the sentence again. Arrange. Unplanned. The contradiction offended several foundational principles of formation design. Lin Shu looked back. "Are you coming? How does one arrange something unplanned?" "Do not plan it." "Then I would not be arranging it." "That sounds like a 5th senior sister problem." Bao made an agreeing sound from Lin Shui's shoulder. Tang Lin opened a blank notebook. By the time the group reached the gate, she had designed 4 possible methods of creating an unplanned encounter. The system rejected all 4 before she attempted them. 7 Lantern City recognized the 7 senior sisters immediately. The guards straightened when Qin Yu approached. A formation elder near the registration pavilion abandoned a conversation to greet Tang Lin. 2 alchemists bowed to Sumei. Several young cultivators whispered when Bai Ning passed beneath the lanterns. A beast merchant attempted to offer Lin Shui a rare spirit bird until Bao frightened it back into its cage. No one recognized Lu Chen. No one recognized Lu Chen. The registration clerk counted the group. 7 honored representatives of Hidden Cloud Sect and 1 attendant. Zhao Lan opened her mouth. Lu Shen placed the archive authorization on the table. "That is correct for registration purposes." The clerk stamped it without looking closely. Zhao Lan waited until they entered the city. "You are not an attendant. The gathering charges 10 spirit stones for every registered competitor. You defeated Wei Feng. Not in a public tournament. You helped save the Medicinal Valley. Most save the Medicinal Valley. People do not know it was attacked. Zhao Lan frowned. You are too comfortable being underestimated. It makes observation easier. Qin Yu heard him. She also saw the faint tension in his shoulders when the clerk had looked through him. Lu Shen rarely protested such treatment because part of him believed it accurate. That disturbed her more than the insult. Their accommodation occupied an old compound near the Eastern Lantern District. It contained 8 rooms around a courtyard. Before Lu Shen could select one, 7 formation marks lit across the doors. Tang Lin had prepared a room assignment. My arrangement places each person near the teammate with whom their path has the greatest tactical compatibility. Bai Ning examined the diagram. Junior brother's room is beside yours. The central formation controls are located there. Sumei touched another mark. My room appears to have moved since you explained the arrangement. The southern channel required adjustment. Lin Shu pointed across the courtyard. Why is mine farthest from? Junior brother? Bao disrupts formations. Bao jumped from her shoulder, crossed the courtyard, and curled up outside Lu Shen's assigned room. Lin Shui smiled. He disagrees. The system displayed a mission before Tang Lin. Unplanned moment opportunity detected. Wallow events to develop without correction. Tang Lin looked at Bao, then at the altered formation line beneath his paws. The fox had redirected 2 room assignments. She reached for a talisman. Warning. Correcting the event will end the opportunity. Tang Lin slowly lowered her hand. Lu Shen examined the shifted marks. The new pattern distributes the courtyard energy more evenly. Tang Lin stared at him. Bao changed it. He found the weakest current. He sat down. Animals often understand natural formations without diagrams. Lin Shui picked up Bao with visible pride. Hei's a formation master. Hei is not. Lu Chen looked toward Tang Lin. Would you mind showing me how the original arrangement worked? I still do not understand why the northern current was stronger. The system chimed. Lu Chen voluntarily requested private instruction. Unplanned moment achieved. Mission completed? Tang Lin looked at the words. She had accomplished the mission by failing to prevent a fox from disrupting her plan. She was not sure whether to feel enlightened or insulted. That evening, Wei Feng arrived carrying a locked metal case. His iron sword robes were travel-stained and a shallow cut crossed one sleeve. We found the merchant's supplier, he said after entering the courtyard. Or what remained of his warehouse. He placed the case on the table. Inside were ledgers, broken talismans, and a black lantern wick. The warehouse burned before we entered. These survived inside a protection array. Lu Chen opened the first ledger. Most transactions involved ordinary formation materials. 7 entries had been written in coded numbers. Tang Lin compared them with the records from the diverted spring. These are locations. One is Hidden Cloud Valley, Wei Feng said. Another is the Spiritual Spring. The remaining 5 point towards 7 Lantern City, Soul Mist Forest, and 3 sites surrounding your mountain. Qin Yu looked toward the floating lights above the city. They knew we would come here. They encouraged it, Lu Chen said. He lifted the black wick. It carried the same cold spiritual trace as Elder Hand's furnace. The archive may be bait. Tang Lin folded her arms. We still require it. Ah yes. We only stop assuming that stealing the scroll is their entire objective. The following morning, Tang Lin registered for the city's formation competition. The winner would receive private access to the recovered Hidden Cloud archive before it entered long-term storage. Lu Chen accompanied her to the Hall of Thousand Lights. Bai Ning walked with them. She had insisted that a formation gathering filled with illusion lanterns required an illusion specialist. Tang Lin had insisted that it did not. Their disagreement produced 2 routes across the city. Bai Ning recommended the Moonbridge district, where illusion merchants and information brokers gathered. Tang Lin selected the direct road through the central formation market. Lu Shen reviewed both maps. Moonbridge passes 3 unstable lantern nodes. The central road passes the warehouse marked in Wei Feng's ledger. Both women brightened for different reasons. We inspect both, he said. Tang Lin unfolded a 3rd route. I prepared a path that intersects them efficiently. Bai Ning smiled. Of course you did. They followed Tang Lin's path for half an hour. At the first intersection, Sumei appeared carrying medicine. I was told junior brother would pass here. Tang Lin stopped. By whom? Lin Shui at the next intersection? Zhao Lan waited beside a weapons stall. Bai Ning said we were meeting here. Bai Ning looked innocent. At the 3rd, Shen Yu stood beneath a blue lantern. I saw all of you arriving. Tang Lin checked her map. This route was private. Bao dropped from a rooftop with Tang Lin's notebook in his mouth. Lin Shui followed across the tiles. I found a leak. Bao leapt onto Lu Chen's shoulder. The seven sisters had independently modified, copied, or divined Tang Lin's plan, until the supposedly efficient private inspection had become a full group procession. Lu Shen examined the route lines. Interesting. Tang Lin looked at him. Which part? Every alteration crosses the same 7 lanterns. They followed his gaze. 7 lights burned against the wind. The lanterns stood across different streets and elevations, yet their shadows pointed toward the Hall of Thousand Lights. Tang Lin's frustration vanished. The ceremonial lantern network. She had dismissed it as decoration because it carried almost no active spiritual energy. Lu Chen approached the nearest lantern. Its flame was ordinary. Its position was not. If these 7 are formation markers, the city is built over a much larger array. The official city formation has 993 active nodes, Tang Lin said. And 7 inactive ones, she understood. 1,000 total. The hidden cloud archive was displayed inside the competition hall beneath 6 layers of security. It was an old scroll containing only half a formation diagram. Tang Lin needed one glance to dislike it. The line density is wrong. Damaged? Lu Shen asked. Possibly. Or copied by someone who did not understand the original. The formation competition began before they could inspect it further. 32 competitors entered the central arena. Each received the same task: stabilize a model city while the judges introduced controlled failures into its spiritual network. Tang Lin moved through the early rounds without difficulty. She repaired broken nodes, redirected overloaded channels, and isolated corrupted talismans faster than any competitor beside her. Lu Chen observed from the public gallery. Most spectators focused on Tang Lin. He watched the shadows beneath the arena lanterns. Each time a competitor repaired the model, one shadow shifted. Someone was using the competition to test how different formation masters responded to specific failures. An elderly judge in dark green robes sat near the archive platform. He applauded every successful repair. His hands never moved at the same time as his shadow. Lu Shen found Bai Ning beside the upper railing. The judge on the left is disguised. She followed his gaze. Not with an ordinary illusion. Can you identify him? Eventually, the final round starts in 10 breaths. Bai Ning's violet eyes narrowed. Then we do it quickly. The final model rose from the arena floor. It represented 7 Lantern City. Tang Lin stood at its eastern edge while her remaining opponent took the west. The judges activated the test. 3 safe failures appeared. A blocked channel, a cracked node, an overloaded lantern. Tang Lin began correcting them. Lu Chen watched the false judge. His shadow lifted one hand. A 4th failure entered the model beneath the central district. It was not part of the competition. The city's real lanterns responded. 1,000 flames flickered. Lu Shen rose. Stop the round, the presiding judge frowned. Spectators may not interfere. The central model is connected to the city. That is impossible. Tang Lin looked toward Lu Chen. He pointed at the shadow beneath her feet. It leaned south while every lantern in the hall cast light from the north. Tang Lin abandoned the obvious failures and traced the false shadow. A hidden formation emerged beneath the model. The other competitor continued repairing his assigned nodes. Candidate Tang, a judge warned. Return to the examination. Tang Lin's system appeared. Trust Lu Chen's adjustment without controlling the final method. High-value resonance opportunity. Her prepared solution would win the competition. Lu Chen's discovery might save the city. Tang Lin placed both hands against the model and erased half her work. The gallery erupted in surprise. The hidden formation reacted. Cracks spread across the model city. You have failed the round, the presiding judge said. No, Tang Lin replied. The round was compromised. She looked at Lu Chen. The shadow formation has 9 false nodes. Which one is carrying the real current? None. The space between them. Tang Lin understood before he finished. She rotated the entire model by 1 degree. The empty spaces aligned. A black formation symbol appeared beneath the central tower. The false judge stood. Bai Ning was already behind him. Her hand passed through his shoulder. The old man dissolved into green smoke. A projected identity, she said. The caster is elsewhere. The black symbol activated. The Hall of Thousand Lights shook. Lu Chen jumped from the gallery. He landed beside Tang Lin as the model's central tower split. The formation is drawing from the city lanterns, she said. Can you disconnect it? Not without collapsing the competition array. Then do not disconnect it. Change what it carries. Tang Lin's first instinct was to ask for a complete diagram. There was none. The model continued breaking. She handed Lu Chen 3 formation flags. Place these where the shadows overlap. He moved. His new tempered body foundation stabilized each landing. Sword Intent showed him the decisive points. Meridian Restoration allowed his spiritual energy to follow damaged channels without becoming trapped. He planted the first flag beneath the eastern bridge, the second beside the market tower. At the third location, the floor appeared empty. Formation sense stirred for the first time. Not a complete ability, a recognition. The city model, the ceremonial lanterns, Tang Lin's flags, and the empty center belonged to one pattern. Lu Chen drove the flag into the space between two engraved lines. The black current changed direction. Tang Lin seized it. Instead of forcing the formation back into her prepared structure, she allowed the current to choose its natural route, then built around it. The model stabilized. Across 7 Lantern City, the 1,000 flames returned to normal. Silence filled the hall. The presiding judge approached the arena. He examined the exposed black symbol. This was not part of the competition. No, Tang Lin said. Candidate Tang Lin prevented a city-scale formation breach. She turned toward Lu Chen. My junior brother identified it. The judge looked at Lu Shan. My judge looked at Lu Shan. For the first time, the attendant, Zhao Lan's voice carried from the gallery. He is not an attendant. Lu Chen returned the formation flags to Tang Lin. I also explained the correction, she said. Without him. He also explained the correction, she said. Without him, I would have completed the wrong task perfectly. The words cost her pride. That was why they mattered. Her system chimed. Candidate accepted an uncontrolled variable. Candidate publicly acknowledged Lu Chen's contribution. Affection increased. Affirmation. Personage established. Tang Lin received archive access regardless of formal ranking. By the time the group entered the secured chamber, the displayed scroll was gone. A guard lay unconscious beside an open case. Qin Yue checked his pulse. Alive, Tang Lin inspected the broken barriers. The thief knew exactly how the security formations would respond. Wei Feng blocked the northern exit. Bai Ning closed her eyes. 5 guards are illusions. The false guards dissolved. Masked figures scattered through the archive hall. Qin Yu and Zhao Lan pursued the 2 carrying the stolen scroll. Sume remained with the injured guard. Lin Xiu sent Bao through the ventilation passages. Shen Yu followed the most likely escape route. Tang Lin reached for her prepared city map. Lu Chen looked at the empty display case. The theft had occurred too easily. The scroll had already seemed wrong. Let them take it. Everyone within hearing stopped. Qin Yue's voice came through a communication talisman. Explain. The displayed archive is a decoy. Tang Lin stared at the empty case. You are certain? No. But Black Heaven Hall connected the competition model to the city before the theft. They were testing formation responses, not merely opening a display barrier. Bai Ning examined the remaining illusions. They also wanted every formation expert looking inside this chamber. Lu Chen looked toward the windows. Outside, 1,000 lanterns floated over the city. The real archive is the city. Tang Lin followed him to the balcony. The 7 inactive lanterns they had noticed earlier formed only the beginning. When viewed from the archive tower, the distances between all 1,000 lights created flowing lines. An enormous diagram stretched over 7 Lantern City. It cannot be read from one position, Tang Lin said. That is why the false judge studied how formation masters corrected the model. He needed someone to reveal the sequence. A slow clap came from the rooftop opposite them. The elderly judge stood there again. This time, his shadow matched. You continue to exceed expectations, he said. Bai Ning's expression sharpened. Elder Luo. His disguise dissolved. A lean man in green and black robes appeared beneath it. He held the stolen scroll. You may keep the empty case, he said. The true archive will open for us now. He tore the scroll. Black light spread across the city. The 1,000 lanterns shifted. Streets disappeared beneath layers of illusion. Bridges seemed to twist in opposite directions. Formation walls rose around crowded districts. Panic spread below. Bai Ning stepped onto the balcony rail. I can conceal the true lantern pattern. For how long? Tang Lin asked. If your formation stops fighting my illusion. Longer than last time. Tang Lin looked offended. Your false moon was incorrectly positioned. It was beautiful. It interfered with 3 currents. Lu Chen stepped between them. Can you argue while working? Both women looked at him. Yes. They said. Bai Ning raised one hand. Purple light flowed over the city. The true lantern positions vanished beneath a second false sky. Elder Luo's black current entered the illusion and divided between hundreds of false nodes. Tang Lin spread her formation flags across the balcony floor. Her old method demanded fixed positions. The city had none. People were moving. Lanterns were shifting. Bai Ning's illusion changed each breath to keep Elder Luo from identifying the true pattern. Tang Lin abandoned the prepared diagram. Junior brother, direct the empty channels. Lu Chen closed his eyes. Formation sense expanded. He felt the city not as a completed array but as relationships. One lantern supported another. A bridge redirected a third. Empty streets provided space for energy to turn. Bai Ning's illusion did not obstruct the formation. It gave it new possibilities. Northwest lantern, lower 3 feet. Bai Ning adjusted it. Southern bridge, open the false path. Tang Lin moved 2 flags. Central market, extinguish every visible light. The district went dark. Elder Luo's formation rushed toward the apparent weakness. Bai Ning placed an invisible lantern inside it. Tang Lin closed the adaptive array. Black energy folded into an empty loop. Elder Luo's smile vanished. He cut the stolen scroll again. Nothing happened. Lu Shen opened his eyes. The scroll never controlled the archive. No, Elder Luo said. It identified who could. His gaze settled on Lu Chen. The empty center is awakening. Qin Yu's sword crossed the distance between rooftops. Elder Luo blocked it with a green formation shield. Zhao Lan landed behind him hard enough to split roof tiles. He activated an escape array. Tang Lin tried to seal it, but his formation had been prepared before their arrival. Bai Ning sent an illusion into the opening. For one instant, Elder Luo saw the escape route continuing safely. He stepped into the false section. His sleeve caught against Tang Lin's real barrier. Qin Yu cut a metal token from his waist. Elder Luo escaped before the next strike, leaving the token and stolen scroll behind. The city formation settled. Illusionary walls faded. Bridges returned to their true positions. The lanterns floated back into the pattern they had held for centuries. Tang Lin recovered Elder Luo's token. It bore 8 depressions. 7 surrounded 1 empty center. By midnight, the group occupied the highest chamber of the Hall of Thousand Lights. The city elders had closed the building while they repaired the damaged network. Tang Lin placed the recovered token beside the lantern map. Bai Ning projected an illusion of the city above the table. Lu Chen rotated the token. At one angle, its 8 depressions matched 8 gaps within the city formation. Tang Lin shifted the lantern projection. Lines appeared between the gaps. 7 outer positions surrounded one center. Each outer position carried a symbol. Sword, medicine, body, illusion, formation, soul, beast. The center remained blank. Lu Chen took out the metal plate bearing Master Yun's warning. Trust the center. He placed it within the projection. The lines of the nameless foundation art appeared. The same plane circulation route he had practiced for years connected all 7 positions. No single path dominated the diagram. The center existed only to let the outer paths reach one another. Tang Lin stared at it. This formation requires 8 cultivators. 7 specialized paths, Bai Ning said. And 1 without a fixed nature, Lu Chen finished. The words felt uncomfortably close to Elder Hen's description. Empty. He looked at his hands. Sword intent lived within his decisions. Meridian restoration shaped his circulation. Tempered body stabilized his stance. Formation sense now connected what he observed. They had not replaced one another. They had settled into the nameless foundation art as though space had always been waiting for them. Bai Ning dismissed the city illusion. Moonlight entered through the chamber windows. She looked at Lu Shen. My mission is unfinished. What mission? An illusion exercise. Tang Lin glanced at her system. You are doing this now? The city is stable. Master is still missing. That is why we may not have another quiet night. Bai Ning led Lu Shen onto the roof. Tang Lin followed at a distance, officially to inspect the lantern network. The others remained close enough to intervene if Elder Luo returned. Bai Ning lifted one hand. 7 Lantern City disappeared. A silver lake spread across the roof. Flowering trees rose along its banks. A full moon hung above distant mountains, its reflection trembling across the water. No formations attacked. No enemies waited. For the first time since Master Yun's disappearance, the night asked nothing of them. Bai Ning sat beside the illusionary lake. Lu Chen joined her. He studied the reflected moon. Bai Ning waited. His eyes narrowed. The western edge is unstable. She closed her own eyes. Of course it is. The moon is too low. It is romantic. It is pulling against the remaining city formation. Bai Ning opened one eye. Could you pretend not to notice? It may collapse. It is an illusion. It is still yours. She looked at him. Lu Shen rose and adjusted the false moon with a small thread of spiritual energy. Formation sense showed him where its light conflicted with the roof array. Clear mind, still incomplete. Let him separate the illusion's sensory beauty from its structural truth. He raised the moon by 3 finger-widths. The silver lake stabilized. Bai Ning watched the reflection become clear. You repaired it. You created something worth preserving. The system appeared. Mission condition achieved. Lu Chen wishes the moment to remain. Illusion path resonance established. Bai Ning's practiced smile almost appeared. Instead, she allowed the real one. Lu Shen noticed. Your real smile is more difficult to imitate. Her system erupted in warm light. Yun planned sincere recognition. Affection significantly increased. Current rank. First. Across the city, 6 jade slips displayed the change. Qin Yu sword stopped halfway through a maintenance stroke. Sumei looked up from the injured guard. Zhao Lan broke the training brick in her hand. Tang Lin, standing only 1 rooftop away, closed her notebook. Shen Yu had already seen the possibility, and still appeared disappointed. Lin Shu whispered to Bao, "We're changing strategies." Bai Ning maintained the moonlit lake for several more breaths. Then Lu Chen looked toward the eastern lanterns. The archive pattern is changing. The illusion vanished. All 7 sisters arrived as the 1,000 lanterns rotated around the city. Their lights formed the 8-position diagram once more. 4 outer positions glowed. Sword, medicine, body, illusion. The formation position flickered, then brightened. Tang Lin felt her resonance answer. Lu Chen stood at the blank center. Spiritual energy entered his foundation. Clear minds separated false information from true perception. Formation sense connected every illuminated path. 2 barriers within his cultivation opened in succession. Foundation establishment, 6th stage, then 7. The advancement passed through him without instability. Each established foundation supported the next. Above the city, the ancient archive completed its message. 7 outer paths, 1 empty center, 8-fold hidden cloud formation. 7 translucent interfaces appeared around Lu Shen. For 1 breath, their concealment failed. He saw Qin Yue's red display, Sumei's blue one, Zhao Lan's gold, Bai Ning's purple, Tang Lin's purple, Tang Lin's pink, Shen Yu's silver, Lin Shu's amber. Names shifted across a shared ranking. Bai Ning stood first. Tang Lin followed close behind. At the top of the formation, 1 line burned brighter than every other message. Marriage compatibility assessment. Lu Chen read it. Then he looked at his 7 senior sisters. No one spoke. Lu Chen read the line again. Marriage compatibility assessment to Bai Ning stood first. Tang Lin stood second. The remaining 5 names followed beneath them, each accompanied by symbols Lu Shen did not understand. He looked from one senior sister to another. What marriage ranking? 7 answers arrived at once. An archive classification, Tang Lin said. A medical compatibility test, Sumei said. A battle formation, Qin Yue said. A joke, Bai Ning said. A joke, Bai Ning said. Our reward system, Zhao Lan said. A beast bonding ceremony, Lin Shui said. Shen Yu remained silent. 7 interfaces flashed red. J-coordinated deception detected. All candidates penalized. Tang Lin dropped beside her. Qin Yu rose to the top despite having lied because her penalty was slightly smaller. Every sister turned toward Shen Yu. You should have answered, Bai Ning said. I saw the penalties, and you allowed us to speak. You all answered before I could warn you. Lu Chen watched the names rearrange. You can see this all the time. No. One denied it. And Master's Jade Slips created it. Qin Yue's expression settled into the composure she used before difficult battles. Yes. What does it measure? Several things, Sumei said. Which things? No one volunteered. Lu Shen pointed toward the clearest line. That one says marriage compatibility. When noticed, Zhao Lan replied. When? Before breakfast on the day Master disappeared. Silence returned. Several memories rearranged themselves inside Lu Shen's mind. 7 different meals. The competition over seats. Zhao Lan's urgent need to carry water peacefully. Bai Ning's moonlit illusion. Tang Lin's supposedly tactical room formation. Every glance toward empty air. Every inexplicable argument that ended when one sister received an unseen message. Lu Shen looked at Sumei. The porridge. She lowered her eyes by a fraction. My first mission required me to prepare something you genuinely needed. 3rd senior sister's water jars. A peaceful activity. Zhao Lan admitted. The lake, Bai Ning smiled without confidence. A moment you wished were real. The room assignment? Tang Lin closed her notebook. An unplanned encounter, which you planned. The system recognized the contradiction. Lu Chen rubbed the space between his eyebrows. Lin Shui took one small step backward. He noticed. What did Bao steal from you? My system jade slip. And you told me it was his training record? He was being trained not to reveal it. Bao sat at her feet and looked pleased with himself. Lu Shen turned toward Qin Yue. You asked for my advice because the system ordered you to. The system ordered me to ask, she said. It did not make me trust your answer. That distinction mattered. It did not remove the fact that 7 people had shared a secret centered on him while he unknowingly participated in it. How does my affection affect the system? Tang Lin answered because facts were easier than apologies. Genuine affection increases resonance. Resonance improves cultivation compatibility. False behavior is rejected. Manipulation causes penalties, and the person with the highest score? The 7 sisters looked at the glowing words. Eining spoke first. May become your destined cultivation partner? May? The system has not defined the final condition. Lu Chen considered that carefully. Have any of you been doing this only for cultivation rewards? The question removed the remaining humor from the roof. Qin Yu answered. No. Sumei met his gaze. The system cannot create feelings that do not exist. It only measures them, Qin Yu said quietly. Lu Chen looked toward her. She had not participated in the failed explanations. What else have you hidden? Private missions, she said. Rankings? Compatibility evaluations? Warnings? Warnings about Black Heaven Hall? Recently? That was the part that hurt most. The breakfast competition was embarrassing. The missions were confusing. Enemy warnings were relevant to Master Yun's disappearance and the sect's survival. You should have told me when the system identified an external threat. Qin Yu accepted the criticism without defense. You were right. Tang Lin looked at the fence. Fading archive formation. We did not know whether revealing it would affect the system. You could have asked what I wanted. The 7 heart system responded across all 7 interfaces. A candidate behavior correction identified. New. Relationship principle recorded. Ask the center rather than deciding for him. Zhao Lan stared at the message. It says he is right. Thank you, Lu Chen said. Thank you, Lu Chen said. That helps. Before any sister could answer, Bao's ears rose. The fox turned east. A strand of silver light entered the chamber through the open window. It moved like smoke, crossed the floor, and wrapped around Bao's foreleg. Lin Shu knelt. Do you recognize it? Bao sniffed the light. His fur lifted. Shen Yu touched the silver strand. Her pale eyes lost focus. Master, the tension on the roof changed immediately. Where? Qin Yue asked. Soul Mist Forest. Lu Chen moved toward the city map. The forest lay 2 days east of 7 Lantern City, and less than 1 day from Hidden Cloud Mountain by direct flight. We leave now, he said. Qin Yue nodded. No one argued. The silver strand faded, leaving a small mark shaped like a cloud on Bao's fur. Before descending from the tower, Lu Shen faced the 7 sisters. We will continue this conversation. Bai Ning glanced at the system. Will it be before or after we find Master? Both, Zhao Lan whispered. That sounded dangerous. Sumei collected her medicine case. You preferred when he did not understand. I did not say that. You did not need to. They departed 7 Lantern City before moonset. Tang Lin used a transport formation to shorten the first half of the journey. The damaged city network prevented a direct transfer, so the group emerged beside a river several hundred miles east. From there, Qin Yue set a fast pace along the mountain roads. Lu Chen traveled at the center. Usually, his position would have felt practical. Now he knew that every sister around him could see a system evaluating how she treated him. For the first hour, no one spoke unless necessary. When Lu Chen stumbled over an exposed root, 3 hands reached for him. All 3 stopped before touching him. A collection of system messages appeared. G candidate hesitated due to fear of appearing manipulative. No affection change. Lu Chen regained his balance. You are making this stranger. Bai Ning lowered her hand. We are adjusting. Adjust while walking. They continued. At dawn they stopped beside a mountain spring. Sumei prepared a restorative medicine, then paused before handing it to Lu Chen. This is for spiritual recovery. It is not a mission. Lu Chen accepted it. You do not need to explain every action. How else will you know? I knew you cared for me before I saw the system. That silenced more than Sumei. Lu Shen drank the medicine. I'm not angry that you care, he said. I am angry that you made decisions about me without me. Qin Yue sat across the spring. What do you want us to do? For now, Tell me when the system reveals something connected to Master Blackhaven Hall or the mountain. Keep your personal missions private if you wish. Stop creating situations that interfere with our investigation. Tang Lin slowly closed a notebook containing a revised journey plan. Bai Ning dismissed a subtle illusion that had made the sunrise more flattering. Lin Shui whispered to Bao, who released the bundle he had been preparing to drop into Lu Shen's lap. Zhao Lan looked around. Were all of you doing something? No. 6 women replied. The system displayed another warning. Potential coordinated deception detected. They immediately corrected themselves. Yes. Lu Chen finished the medicine. Thank you. For the first time since 7 Lantern City, the tension loosened. Soul Mist Forest began where the mountains descended into a silver basin. Mist flowed between ancient trees throughout the year. It reflected spiritual perception, distorted distance, and caused travelers to hear memories as though they were occurring nearby. A wooden warning marker stood at the entrance. Do not follow familiar voices. Do not answer questions from the mist. Do not enter without a soul anchor. The final line had been carved recently. Shen Yu touched it. Master wrote this. Can you locate him? Qin Yue asked, not directly. She opened her spiritual perception. Possible paths unfolded before her. The northern trail led to a broken shrine. In one future, the shrine collapsed. In another, corrupted beasts surrounded them. The eastern trail crossed a shallow stream. Bai Ning disappeared in 3 possible futures. Zhao Lan was injured in 2. The central trail led directly toward the Silver Strand's origin. Every future beyond it ended in darkness. Shen Yu opened her eyes. We should wait. For what? Lu Chen asked. Clearer possibilities. How long will that take? I do not know. A system message appeared before her. Personal mission. Make one meaningful choice without consulting fate. Current opportunity detected. Shen Yu looked away from it. Qin Yue studied the 3 trails. Which is safest? Nan Nuan. Which has the best chance? The futures change whenever I examine them. Lu Chen approached the warning marker. Blackhaven Hall knows 6th senior sister is a diviner. Tang Lin understood first. They prepared threats along the routes she was most likely to examine. Or created false futures to delay us, Bai Ning added. Shen Yu continued looking between paths. If she chose incorrectly, someone could be hurt. Her visions existed to prevent that, yet every attempt to find certainty gave their enemy more time. Lu Shen stood beside her. If you could not see the future, which path would you choose? Her gaze moved toward the central trail. The direct one. Why? Bao's mark reacts most strongly there. The ground is undisturbed, and the mist is flowing against the wind. Then we take it. You do not know where it leads, neither does our enemy, if they built their plan around what you would foresee. Shen Yu looked beyond him. The central trail remained dark in every future. For years, she had treated darkness as a warning. It might also mean the choice belonged to her. We take the central trail, she said. Mission completed. Candidate chose through judgment and trust. Affection increased. The darkness beyond the trail did not clear. Shen Yu walked into it anyway. The mist closed around the group within 20 steps. Tang Lin tied them together with a formation thread. Qin Yue led beside Shen Yu. Sumei and Zhao Lan guarded the center. Bai Ning maintained a clear mind illusion around the group, while Lin Shu followed Bao through the shifting undergrowth. Lu Chen heard Master Yun's voice before they reached the first bend. Your stance is too high. He stopped. The words came from his left. Through the mist he saw the old training courtyard. Master Yun stood beneath the pine holding a bamboo switch. A much younger Lu Chen struggled to maintain a horse stance in the rain. Lower! The memory felt complete down to the cold water running beneath Lu Chen's collar. Bai Ning's violet light passed across his eyes. The courtyard vanished. Do not follow it, she said. I know. Knowing is not the same as being unaffected. Lu Chen nodded and continued. The forest tested each of them. Qin Yue heard disciples calling for protection from behind. Sumai's patience she had failed to save. Zhao Lan heard the sound of a training partner striking the ground and not rising. Bai Ning encountered versions of herself that smiled perfectly, while accusing her of never saying anything true. Tang Lin saw formations collapsing because of one variable she had not calculated. Lin Shu heard spiritual beasts begging her not to leave them. Shen Yu saw possible futures until she could no longer distinguish vision from mist. Her steps slowed. Lu Shen noticed the formation thread tightening behind him. 6th senior sister. She looked at him and saw 7 different answers. In one future, he was already corrupted. In another, he was an illusion. In a third, speaking to him drew the entire group into a trap. She reached for certainty and found more possibilities. "Do not move," she said. The group stopped. Mist gathered around her white and icy blue robes. "I cannot identify which of you are real." Bai Ning strengthened her illusion barrier. The mist copied it. Tang Lin activated a verification formation. 7 false versions appeared beside the true pattern. Shen Yu's breathing became shallow. Lu Shen stepped closer. "Do not use spiritual perception. If I close it, I will be blind. You are already seeing too much. The mist could replace you. Then verify something it cannot know." Shen Yu searched his face. "What? Ask me a question," the mist whispered hundreds around them. Shen Yu chose a one she had never spoken aloud. "Why do my visions become quiet when you are near?" Lu Chen considered it. "I do not know." The answer was immediate and entirely unhelpful. It was also honest. A false Lu Chen might have offered wisdom. The mist might have created the answer she wished to hear. The real one admitted ignorance. Shen Yu closed her spiritual perception. Darkness replaced the futures. Lu Chen held out his hand, not touching her. "Follow my voice," she did. The mist attacked her identity the moment her sight closed. Memories loosened. Her name felt distant. The path beneath her feet disappeared. Lu Chen circulated the nameless foundation art. The clear mind foundation separated the forest's voices from his own thoughts. Meridian restoration allowed him to enter the edge of Shen Yu's disturbed spiritual circulation without forcing it. Formation sense recognized the structure of her consciousness as something connected but independent. He established one fixed point. "Shen Yu," he said. Her name reached her. 6th disciple of Hidden Cloud Sect. A second anchor formed. "You chose this path. A third. You do not need to know where it ends to take the next step." The mist pressed against the connection. Lu Chen held it steady. He did not pull Shen Yu toward him. He gave her a place from which to return. Silver light spread through the formation thread. Shen Yu opened her eyes. The false futures were gone. One path remained beneath her feet. Mutual soul trust established. Soul path resonance activated. Affection significantly increased. Lu Chen felt the new foundation settle beside the others. Soul anchor, not control. Continuity. The ability to remain oneself while touching another consciousness. Shen Yu released his hand only after realizing she had taken it. "The mist cannot copy you," she said. "Why? It would try to sound more impressive." Bai Ning laughed before she could stop herself. The group moved again. They reached a clearing near midday. A large spirit wolf waited beneath a dead tree. Its silver fur had turned black along one side. A wooden control mark hung from its neck, glowing with Lin Shu's spiritual signature. She stopped. "Yue," the wolf growled. Lin Shu approached. Bao blocked her path. "It knows me," she said. Bao refused to move. The wolf's eyes were clouded, but its attention remained fixed on Lin Shu. "I raised him from a cub." She formed a beast command. The wooden mark brightened. The wolf lowered its head. For one breath, obedience overcame corruption. Then the darkness beneath its fur spread. The animal shuddered and snapped at the glowing mark. "Your control is feeding the corruption," Lu Chen said. Lin Shui tightened the bond. "If I release him, he may attack. If you force him, he will. He is frightened. The command will calm him." The wolf struck the ground, fighting both the corruption and her control. The system appeared before Lin Shui. Warning. Possession is reducing genuine compatibility. E-beast bond instability increasing. She read the words and looked at the wolf. The bond had protected Yu for years. Through it, she had guided him away from danger, strengthened his cultivation, and called him home. It also prevented him from choosing anything she had not chosen first. "Release the mark," Lu Chen said. "What if he leaves? Then he lives." Her eyes sharpened. "That is easy for you to say." "No. It is his choice, not mine. And if he never returns, then forcing him to stay would not make the bond real." The words hurt because they applied beyond the wolf. Lin Shu looked toward the other sisters, then at Lu Chen. Finally she opened her hand. The control mark cracked. Silver light left the wolf's neck and returned to her palm. Yu staggered. The corruption no longer fought against an enforced command. For several breaths he remained in the clearing. Then he turned and disappeared into the mist. Lin Shu stood without moving. The broken control mark rested in her hand. Bao pressed against her boot. "He left," she said. Lu Chen did not tell her the wolf would return. He did not promise what he could not know. "He chose," he said. Lin Shu closed her fingers around the broken mark. The group continued toward the center of the forest. Without Yu, the path became harder. Corrupted vines blocked narrow passages. The mist thickened. Tanglin's formation thread began losing contact with the ground. Shen Yu could now distinguish natural uncertainty from false visions, but the forest's central corruption remained hidden. They reached a ravine where every possible route ended against silver fog. "We need an animal path," Lin Shui said. Bao searched the edge and returned without finding one. Lin Shui knelt beside him. "I cannot command the forest beasts while the corruption is interfering." "You can ask," Lu Chen said. "There are none nearby." A howl sounded beyond the ravine. Lin Shui looked up. Yu stood on the opposite cliff. The black corruption remained in his fur, but his eyes were clear. 3 smaller spirit wolves appeared beside him. Birds gathered along the branches. A stone-backed deer emerged from the mist. None wore control marks. Yue turned and entered a narrow opening behind the cliff. The other beasts followed. Bao barked once and raced toward a concealed ledge. Lin Shu's eyes brightened. "He came back. Voluntarily," Lu Chen said. She glanced at him. The system chimed. "I candidate released ownership. Voluntary bond established. Beast path resonance activated." Affection significantly increased. Lin Shui crossed the concealed ledge. As Lu Chen followed, he began sensing the animal's intentions. Not words. Direction. Caution. A warning about unstable ground. A memory of black roots beneath the forest. Beast communion settled into the nameless foundation art. The 7 foundations were not complete, but all 7 were present. Sword intent. Meridian restoration. Tempered body. Clear mind. Formation sense. Soul anchor. Beast communion. The hidden animal trail descended beneath the ravine. At its end, black roots surrounded a stone platform. Master Yun's silver spiritual signature rose from its center. Tan Lin inspected the structure. One of Hidden Cloud Mountain's outer nodes, so far from the sect. Zhao Lan asked. "The formation is larger than the mountain," Lu Chen said. The black roots tightened around the platform. Mist poured into them from every direction. Elder Lua's formation marks covered the surrounding stone, but no cultivator waited nearby. Black Heaven Hall had left the corruption to feed itself. "We need to remove the roots without breaking the node," Tanglin said. Qin Yue's her sword. Which connection? Lu Chen studied the pattern. The answer required all 7 foundations. Sword intent identified the decisive roots. Meridian restoration found the safe circulation route. Tempered body showed where the platform could withstand pressure. Clear mind separated true roots from mist-created copies. Formation sense connected the outer marks. Soul anchor protected the group from the node's spiritual backlash. Beast communion revealed where the corruption touched the living forest. He assigned each sister a position. No one questioned why the Foundation Establishment Cultivator was directing 7 Golden Core experts. Chen Yue cut the first root. Sumei stabilized the node's circulation. Zhao Lan held the cracked platform together. Bai Ning concealed the surviving channels from the corruption. Tang Lin reversed Elder Lua's marks. Shen Yu anchored their consciousness. Lin Shui and the forest beasts drew living spiritual energy through the clean roots. Lu Chen stood at the center. The black network resisted. 7 currents entered his foundation at once. For one dangerous breath, they pulled in different directions. Then, the nameless foundation art circulated. It did not absorb them. It gave them a route to one another. The black roots released the platform. Silver light erupted through the forest. The mist lifted. Master Yun appeared above the node as a translucent projection. His robes were torn, but his eyes remained clear. "Master," 8 voices said. His projection looked across them. Relief passed over his face. "You found the outer node. Where are you?" Qin Yu asked. "Beneath Hidden Cloud Mountain, trapped, busy." Zhao Lan folded her arms. "That is not an answer." "It is the answer I have time to give." The projection to give flickered. Black chains appeared briefly behind him. Master Yun looked at Lu Shen. "You have connected the 7 foundations?" "I do not understand how. You were never meant to understand them alone." Lu Chen stepped closer. "What is the 7 hearts system?" 7 sisters became extremely attentive. Master Yun's projection glanced among them. "Ah, that is also not an answer," Qin Yue said. "I intended to explain before entering the seal." "You gave us marriage rankings," Bai Ning said. "The founder wrote the system." "You activated it, Tang," Lin replied. "The mountain seal was failing. So you decided one of us should marry junior brother?" Zhao Lan asked. Master Yun looked genuinely uncertain how the conversation had reached that point. The system used that wording? 7 jade slips lit. Gu creator clarification opportunity detected. Master Yun saw the messages. His projection weakened. There is no time. Listen carefully. Black Heaven Hall has corrupted 7 outer nodes. I am sustaining the central seal from within. When the blood moon reaches its peak, Motian will break the final barrier. When? Lu Chen asked. 3 days. The forest darkened despite the lifted mist. If the 7 paths remain separate, the formation will collapse, Master Yun continued. Lu Chen, do not force them into one shape. Senior sisters, do not make him carry every path alone. The projection broke around the edges. Master, Shen Yu said, how do we reach you? Restore the mountain nodes. The central passage will open. And the system? Lin Shu asked. Master Yun's image faded to silver fragments. Trust what it measures, not what you assume it promises. Then he was gone. The stone platform remained. A final line appeared across the 7 interfaces. 5 resonances established. 82 pathways detected through existing foundational compatibility. Full central perception threshold reached. Light entered Lu Xun's eyes. The hidden interfaces returned. This time, they did not disappear. He saw the 7 names, private symbols concealed, shared warnings visible. He saw resonance lines extending from each sister toward the nameless foundation art. He saw no command forcing emotion from any of them, only measurements of trust already given. Central participant recognized. Limited system access granted. Lu Chen read the message in silence. Bai Ning watched him. How much can you see? The shared information, not personal missions. All 7 sisters stared at the empty space where it had been. Zhao Lan spoke first. Where did first place go? Individual competition has reached diminishing effectiveness. De-cooperation now provides superior resonance. Tang Lin immediately opened her notebook. We require a cooperation schedule. Bai Ning pointed at her. You are not assigning pairs. It is the most efficient method. You will pair yourself with junior brother. Asked the formation specialist. That is reasonable. Lin Shu lifted bow. He should choose. Every sister looked at Lu Chen. He looked at the purified forest node. Master is trapped beneath the mountain. The notebooks lowered. We return now, Qin Yue said. The journey back required less than a day. You and the forest beasts escorted them to the edge of Soul Mist Forest. Lin Shui did not restore their control marks. When Yue stopped beneath the final tree, she knelt and pressed her forehead briefly against his. Come if you choose. The wolf touched his nose to her hand, then returned to the forest. Lu Shen saw her resonance brighten. No mission had caused it. Before leaving, he looked inward. All 7 foundations now occupied stable places within the nameless foundation art. Their combined circulation pushed against the final barriers of foundation establishment. He did not force them. The 8th stage opened naturally during the first mountain crossing. The 9th followed when Soul Anchor and Beast Communion settled into balance. By sunset, Lu Chen stood at foundation establishment, 9th stage. Golden Core waited beyond it. The 7 Hearts system displayed a warning whenever he considered attempting the breakthrough. IU 7 foundations detected. Aoiwei incomplete. Premature condensation, not advised. P accepted the warning. There were 3 days until the blood moon. A failed breakthrough would help no one. The group crossed the last ridge before Hidden Cloud Mountain at nightfall. They expected to see the main hall's lanterns. Instead, 7 pillars of black light surrounded the mountain. 1 rose from the spiritual spring. 1 from the medicinal valley. 5 emerged from the dormant peaks. The protective formation flickered between them like a net close to tearing. Outer disciples fled along the lower paths, while masked cultivators closed the roads behind them. At the center of the mountain, the ancient bronze bell rang once. The sound ended halfway through its note. Qin Yu drew her sword. Sumai opened her medicine case. Xiao Lan tightened her bracers. Bai Ning's purple illusion spread across the ridge. Tang Lin unfolded the recovered 8-position diagram. Shen Yu closed her eyes without searching for a safe future. Lin Shui released Bao. Lu Shen looked through the system and saw 7 corrupted paths converging upon the empty center. Black Heaven Hall had not waited for the blood moon. The siege had already begun. Qin Yu moved first. Her sword left its sheath as she descended from the ridge, red light cutting through the night. 3 masked cultivators blocking the lower road raised a defensive formation. Qin Yu's strike divided it before they completed the final seal. Clear the evacuation path, she ordered. Do not pursue anyone who retreats. Zhao Lan landed beside the road and drove both palms into the ground. A wave of controlled force threw the remaining attackers away from the fleeing outer disciples without striking the disciples themselves. Su Mei reached the first wounded caretaker. Bai Ning covered the mountainside with illusions of additional hidden cloud reinforcements. Tang Lin unfolded the 8-position diagram and sent formation flags toward the damaged outer barrier. Shen Yu searched the mountain for the safest route to the main hall. Lin Shu whistled. Bao vanished among the trees. Lu Chen stood at the center of the ridge and opened his limited system perception. 7 resonance lines stretched toward the black pillars. Each line ended at a different peak. The corruption was not merely attacking the mountain. It was calling the 7 cultivation paths home. A bell sounded inside every interface. Emergency formation response activated. A7 pathbearers detected. Warning. Warning. Forced separation imminent, Tang Lin Lu Shen said. Close the connection between the outer nodes and the 7 of them. Her hands moved across the formation diagram. I cannot. The connection originates beneath the main hall. The black pillars brightened. Qin Yu's sword answered the first. Sumei's medicinal energy answered the second. One by one the sisters' cultivation paths reacted to the mountain nodes designed for them. The force pulling them apart doubled. Qin Yue drove her sword into the road. Stay together. Tang Lin planted 7 flags around the group. The flags lasted 1 breath. Black lines crossed the ground and broke the formation into 8 sections. The mountain disappeared behind walls of dark light. Lu Chen reached for the nearest resonance line. His fingers passed through it. Senior sisters. 7 currents pulled away. Qin Yue vanished towards Sword Peak. Sumei disappeared in the direction of Medicine Peak. Zhao Lan was dragged toward the western training terraces. Binding dissolved into purple mist. Tang Lin vanished with half her formation flag still in the air. Shen Yu's silver light rose toward Moonwatch Peak. Lin Shu and Bao disappeared into the spiritual beast garden. The barriers closed. Lu Shen stood alone at the center. Above him, the blood moon began rising. A voice entered the mountain formation. You returned more quickly than Elder Luo predicted. The tone was calm, almost conversational. Black energy gathered over the central courtyard and formed the image of a man in dark robes. His face remained hidden beneath a half-mask marked with a closed eye and broken crown. Motian, Lu Chen said. The image inclined its head. Master Yun chose a suitable center, patient, observant, empty enough to receive what others cultivated. I am becoming tired of that word. You will understand it soon. The 7 black barriers shifted. Within each, Lu Chen sensed a different battle beginning. Motian's image looked toward the rising moon. 7 paths, 7 peaks. 7 cultivators convinced they require one another. His attention returned to Lu Chen. Let us see what remains when they must stand alone. The image vanished. Lu Chen ran toward the central formation hall. The doors had been destroyed. Outer disciples lay unconscious near the broken bell, their spiritual energy disturbed but stable. He checked them before entering. The hall floor had opened around the ancient hidden cloud emblem. 8 channels extended outward. 7 were black. The central channel remained pale and empty. Tang Lin's recovered diagram reacted inside Lu Chen's storage ring. He placed it above the emblem. The formation projected 7 incomplete scenes around him. Qin Yue stood on Sword Peak before a wall of rotating blades. Sumei faced dozens of poisoned disciples inside the medicine pavilion. Zhao Lan fought a masked cultivator whose body absorbed every impact. Bai Ning wandered through a palace built from her own illusions. Tang Lin stood inside a formation that changed whenever she completed a calculation. Xin Yu faced hundreds of possible futures. Lin Shui called to spiritual beasts that refused to answer. The system displayed a shared mission. Restore communication between all 8 positions. Warning. Independent victory cannot activate the central formation. Lu Chen sat at the center of the hall. He placed both palms against the empty channel. The nameless foundation art entered the mountain. 7 foundations responded. He followed Sword Intent first. Red light pulled his consciousness toward Qin Yue. Sword Peak had become a maze. Thousands of narrow blades rotated around its summit. Every direct strike Qin Yu delivered returned through another section of the formation with greater force. She cut 1 blade. 10 more appeared. She cut the central pillar. The formation redirected her attack toward the lower peak, where several outer disciples were trapped behind a barrier. Qin Yu turned her sword and absorbed the returning force herself. A crack appeared across her defensive aura. Lu Shen's voice reached her through the resonance line. Eldest senior sister. She looked toward the empty air. Lu Chen, the formation redirects direct attacks. I noticed. Then retreat. Her expression hardened. The disciples are behind me. The attack follows your sword intent. If you withdraw, it will follow you away from them. A sword cultivator does not retreat from her chosen target. That is why the formation was built for you. The rotating blades changed direction. Qin Yue saw the design. Every section assumed she would move forward. Every trap relied on her refusal to yield ground. She had taught Lu Chen that hesitation after choosing a path was dangerous. She had never taught him that a cultivator could choose again. 3 steps? She asked. 7. Qin Yu withdrew. The blades pursued. At the 5th step, the central pillar exposed its rear connection. At the 7th, the redirected force no longer pointed toward the trapped disciples. Now attack from the left, Lu Chen said. Qin Yue changed direction. Her sword crossed the formation from an angle it had not prepared to receive. The central pillar. Split. Red light returned to the mountain channel. First path responding. Jin Yu looked toward the invisible resonance between them. You were right. I will try not to become difficult about it. You have 7 senior sisters. It may be too late. The connection weakened as Lu Chen shifted toward Medicine Peak. Sumei's pavilion had become a maze of treatment rooms. Outer disciples lay behind transparent barriers, each suffering from a different stage of Elder Han's meridian poison. 3 medicine furnaces stood before Sumei. One contained enough antidote for the first group. The second could save the most seriously affected disciples, but would consume the ingredients required for the others. The third appeared empty. A projected image of Elder Han stood between them. You cannot save all of them, he said. Sumei ignored him and opened her medicine case. Most of her supplies had been destroyed in the valley attack. She selected 12 ingredients. The first formula failed. The second stabilized one patient but worsened another. Every choice forced her to decide who received treatment first. Lu Shen entered the connection. Second senior sister, I need moonvine, we have none. Then frost orchid root. We gave the remaining roots to the replanted valley. Sumei closed her eyes briefly. She knew that. Knowing did not create medicine. I can refine a weaker antidote, she said. It will delay the poison in everyone but cure no one. That gives us time. Time for what? For third senior sister to open the western supply route. You cannot know, no. She will. I am speaking with her next. The projected Elder Han smiled. You place their lives upon hope. Lu Chen looked through the formation at the 3 furnaces. No, Dao. We place them on cooperation. Sumei's instinct demanded a complete cure before she acted. The first treatment mattered because everyone depended on what came after. But no first treatment had to contain the entire solution. Use the weaker antidote, Lu Chen said. Send the formula through the resonance line. I will carry it to Zhao Lan. Sumei looked at the patients. Then she poured her ingredients into the empty furnace. The third furnace had seemed useless because it held no prepared path. She created one. Pale blue energy entered the mountain channel. Was second path responding? Lu Chen carried the antidote formula west. Zhao Lan struck her opponent hard enough to crack the stone beneath him. The masked cultivator stepped backward. Then his body expanded with borrowed force. He returned the impact twice as strongly. Zhao Lan crossed her arms and absorbed it. Her boots slid across the training terrace. That is irritating, she said. The masked cultivator attacked again. Zhao Lan met him directly. Every collision strengthened him. The barrier around the terrace drew power from her refusal to stop fighting. Third senior sister, Lu Shen, called. She blocked another strike. You found the others, too? Good. I will finish this. No. Protect the disciples beneath the terrace. She glanced down. Several younger disciples were trapped under a collapsed walkway while smaller formation currents moved toward them. My opponent is here. Your opponent wants you here. Zhao Lan ducked beneath the strike. You want me to leave a fight? I want you to leave a fight. To choose what winning means. The masked cultivator gathered all the force she had given him. Zhao Lan looked from him to the trapped disciples. Then she turned away. He released the stored attack toward her back. Zhao Lan did not counterstrike. She planted herself between the force and the collapsed walkway. Tempered body spread the impact through her stance and into the mountain. The stone shook. The disciples remained protected. The masked cultivator attacked again. Without Zhao Lan striking back, his stored power began diminishing. She lifted the fallen walkway and freed the disciples one by one. Senior sister, one of them said, your opponent is escaping. Let him. The masked cultivator reached the edge of the barrier. Its own formation rejected him. He had been created from Zhao Lan's borrowed force. Without it, he dissolved. A hidden storage chamber opened beneath the terrace. Inside were medical herbs Elder Han's agents had failed to destroy. Lu Chen transmitted Sumei's antidote formula. Zhao Lan sent the herb list back through the resonance line. Medicine Peak's furnaces ignited together. Sumei refined the completed cure. The transparent barriers opened. A third path responding. Lu Chen's breathing had become heavy. Maintaining 3 connections at once consumed more spiritual energy than ordinary foundation establishment cultivation could hold. The 7 heart system warned him. Central load increasing. Recommended action. Establish reciprocal circulation. He did not understand how. The senior sisters could not yet send power through one another without using him as the root. Bai Ning's clear mind foundation pulled at his attention. He followed it into her trial. She stood in Hidden Cloud Sect's restored main hall. Sunlight crossed polished floors. Hundreds of disciples trained outside. Master Yun sat safely at the head of the room. The 7 senior sisters stood along one side. Lu Chen waited beside Bai Ning. His white robes carried the formal markings of a sect master. He took her hand. "I choose 4th senior sister." Applause filled the hall. Bai Ning looked toward the other women. None appeared angry. Qin Yue nodded with approval. Su Mei smiled. Zhao Lan congratulated her. Tang Lin had already prepared the ceremony formation. Shen Yu announced that she had foreseen this ending. Lin Xiu asked whether Bao could carry the rings. Everything Bai Ning wanted had arrived without conflict. She almost accepted it. Then the false Lu Chen smiled. The expression was perfect. Too perfect. "What'd I say beside the lake in 7 Lantern City?" Bai Ning asked. "That your illusion was beautiful." Wrong. He had repaired the illusion because it was hers. The palace walls trembled. The false Lu Chen's grip tightened. "You won." Why question it? Because he would never let a system make the choice for him. The smiling senior sisters turned toward her. "You prefer uncertainty?" Tang Lin's illusion asked. "I prefer something real." The false world fractured. Bai Ning withdrew her hand. The palace dissolved into silver dust. She returned to Illusion Peak, where Elder Luo's formations surrounded her with mirrors. Lu Shen's voice reached her. "You escaped. You sound surprised. The illusion was built from something you wanted." "That was why it failed." "How?" "It gave me the result without earning the person." The system chimed. A candidate rejected it rejected. Artificial emotional certainty. Illusion path. Stability increased. Bai Ning turned the mirrors toward one another. Instead of creating another comfortable world, she showed Elder Luo's formation its own false layers. The mirrors reflected emptiness. Purple light entered the mountain. A 4th path responding. 4 resonance currents now passed through Lu Chen. His meridians burned with pressure. The golden core threshold appeared inside his foundation. 7 paths rotated around an empty center. If he condensed them now, he could create enough power to break the remaining barriers. The idea felt correct. The system displayed a warning. Harmony incomplete. Premature condensation not advised. Tang Lin's barrier shifted again. Shen Yu's futures multiplied. Lin Xiu's beasts moved farther away. There was no time. Lu Shen began condensing the 4 stable foundations. Sword intent formed the first edge. Meridian restoration shaped its circulation. Tempered body held the pressure. Clear mind separated the currents. The incomplete golden core took shape. Then formation sense pulled toward Tang Lin. Soul anchor pulled toward Shen Yu. Beast communion pulled toward Lin Xue. The 3 unfinished connections resisted the 4 condensed paths. The center cracked. Pain crossed Lu Chen's meridians. The 4 mountain channels flickered. Qin Yu's voice reached him. "Stop the breakthrough. If I stop, the barriers remain. Then we break them another way. There is no other route yet." Su Mei entered the connection. "You are trying to carry all 7 paths alone. I am the center. You are not the entire formation. The incomplete core formation. The incomplete core." Contracted. Lu Chen tried to stabilize it. The foundations pulled harder. A fracture opened through his cultivation base. The resonance network collapsed. He fell beside the hidden cloud emblem. The 4 restored channels went dark. For several breaths, there was only the distant sound of the blood moon formation. Then Su Mei's weak voice crossed the remaining thread. "Lu Chen, I am conscious. Do not move. I need to reconnect." No, the answer came from all 7 paths. Not equally strong, not fully connected, but united in refusal. The system displayed a red warning. Central breakthrough failed. E-foundation damaged. Cause: one-way resonance overload. Correction required. Mu Chen lay still. Correction lay still. For years he had maintained Hidden Cloud Sect while his senior sisters traveled. He repaired roofs before anyone noticed the leaks. Fed spirit beasts before Lin Xiu returned. Maintained formation stones before Tang Lin asked. Dried Su Mei's herbs cleaned Zhao Lan's training field. Preserved Bai Ning's illusion crystals. Repaired Shen Yu's divination chamber. and kept Qin Yu's sword courtyard free of fallen leaves. He had never considered those tasks burdens. They were how he remained useful. Now the same instinct had nearly broken the foundation everyone required. A strike shook the outer gate, then another. Iron sword banners appeared beyond the lower mountain. Wei Feng's voice carried through a communication talisman. Hidden Cloud Sect, open your evacuation path. We brought the frost orchids and several hundred people who dislike being manipulated. Lu Chen almost laughed. Allied cultivators attacked Black Heaven Hall's lower barriers from outside. The pressure on the 7 peaks weakened. Tang Lin felt the shift first. Her trial formation covered Formation Peak in moving lines. Every time she completed a counterformation, Elder Luo's design changed one variable. A stone moved, a current reversed, a flag became false. Tang Lin corrected each alteration. The formation changed again. No calculation remained valid long enough to finish. Lu Shen reached her through the damaged resonance. 5th Senior's sister, your foundation is unstable. I know, you attempted Golden Core against the system warning. I know, that was extremely poor planning. I know. Tang Lin paused. He had never agreed with criticism so efficiently. I cannot complete this formation, she said. Stop completing it. The peak will collapse. Build something that changes with it. That requires an unfinished structure. Yes, unfinished. Formations are unreliable. SO are finished formations when Elder Luo knows the design. The ground shifted. Tang Lin's latest correction failed. She looked at the pattern she had spent years developing. Every line assumed that control came from knowing where energy would go. Lu Chen's formation sense worked differently. He recognized relationships, then adapted when one changed. Tang Lin removed the central flag. Her formation became incomplete. Elder Luo's design moved to exploit the opening. Tang Lin allowed it. Then, she shifted the remaining flags around the new current. The enemy formation changed again. So did hers. Instead of resisting uncertainty, she used it. Pink and gold light spread through Formation Peak. Adaptive formation established. You candidate accepted uncertainty. HE 5th path responding. The new formation did not force open the barrier. It created a communication route around it. Tang Lin connected Qin Yu's peak to Sumei's, then Jiaolan's, then Bai Ning's. 4 sisters sensed one another without passing entirely through Lu Chen. The central pressure decreased. Lu Chen sat upright. His damaged foundation remained unstable, but the one-way load had lessened. Good, he said. Tang Lin adjusted 3 flags. That is insufficiently technical praise. It is all I have at the moment. The system recorded the sincerity anyway. On Moonwatch Peak, Shen Yu stood within a circle of possible futures. In one, Lu Chen attempted the breakthrough again and failed. In another, Qin Yue reached the cavern but lost her sword. In another, Sumei surveyed the disciples but the Medicine Peak collapsed. Every route toward victory contained a cost. Every route avoiding loss allowed Mo Tian to reach Master Yun. Shen Yu searched deeper. The futures multiplied until they covered the peak like silver mirrors. She could continue searching until the blood moon reached its height. That was also a choice to do nothing until certainty arrived. Lu Shen's damaged soul anchor reached her, 6th senior sister. You should not maintain this connection. Tang Lin reduced the pressure. You are still hurt. I need you to choose a route. There is no safe one. Then choose the loss we can survive. Shen Yu looked across the possible futures. No vision promised that every person would emerge untouched. But one future showed the 7 sisters reaching the central hall before the final seal broke. The route required Shen Yu to destroy the divination mirrors that had guided her for years. Without them, she would lose access to the futures beyond the next few hours. I may not be able to see what follows. Neither can the rest of us. That does not trouble you. It troubles me. I act anyway. Shen Yu faced her mirrors. The safest path had become a cage built from possibilities. She raised one hand. Silver light crossed the peak. The mirrors shattered into harmless fragments of fading light. All futures vanished. One present remained. The soul barrier opened. Candidate chose action without certainty. E6th path responding. Jiao's soul anchor stabilized. Shen Yu sent calm spiritual energy through Tang Lin's adaptive formation. It reached Lu Shen without attempting to direct his thoughts. The fracture in his foundation stopped spreading. At the spiritual beast garden, Lin Shu stood alone. The enclosures were open. Every beast had left. Bao's tracks ended beside a black formation circle. Lin Shu called through their voluntary bond. No answer came. The garden had always been loud. Wings, claws, growls, Bao attempting to steal food. Now the silence felt like rejection. A projection of Elder Luo appeared near the empty enclosures. They obeyed while you controlled them. Lin Shu turned toward him. Where are they? Free black light formed the image of Baal running down the mountain with the other beasts. Release their marks. Why expect them to remain? Lin Shu reached for the old command seals stored within her cultivation. Restoring them would be easy. Every beast she had raised carried traces of her spiritual energy. One command could force them home. The system appeared. Voluntary bonds cannot be tested through coercion. Choice required. Lu Chen's beast communion reached the garden faintly. He sensed no animals nearby. Only Lin Shu's fear. 7th senior sister. They left, maybe. You said they might. Yes. You were supposed to be wrong. I hoped I was. She looked at the abandoned paths. What if they do not come back? Then remember that they stayed. Before because they wanted to. That does not help. No, Lu Chen did not offer a promise the bond could not guarantee. Lin Shu lowered her command seal. Then she raised both hands to her mouth and called without spiritual force. Bow! The black barrier swallowed her voice. She called again. I need help. The projection laughed. No command. No, no. No binding mark. No. Then why would they return? A white blur struck the projection from behind. Bao passed through it, carrying one of Tang Lin's formation flags in his mouth. The illusion vanished. Behind the fox came Yu and the wolves from Soul Mist Forest. Moonbirds filled the trees. Stone-backed deer charged through the outer barrier. The hidden cloud spirit beasts had not fled. They had followed Bao through the lower tunnels to avoid the corrupted formation and gather help. Lin Shu knelt. Bao dropped the flag in her lap and climbed onto her shoulder. You took too long. Bao licked her cheek. The spiritual beasts surrounded the black circle. Lin Shui did not command them. She pointed toward the barrier. Will you help us open it? Yu howled. Living spiritual energy entered the mountain. Voluntary Beast Alliance established. 7th path responding. All 7 paths connected through Tang Lin's adaptive formation. The mountain barriers began weakening. Lu Chen returned his palms to the central emblem. This time, he did not draw their power toward himself. He allowed the 7 sisters to reach one another. Qin. Yu's sword intent gave Sumai's medicine direction. Sumai's circulation protected Zhao Lan's body. Zhao Lan's stability supported Bai Ning's illusion. Bai Ning concealed Tang Lin's, changing formation. Tang Lin connected Shen Yu's soul network. Shen Yu anchored Lin Shui's communication. Lin Shui linked all of them to the living mountain. The 7 hearts system responded, collective resonance increasing. Individual ranking conflict detected. A second message appeared before all 7 sisters. Allow another candidate to assist Lu Chen before you. Qin Yi reread it, so the system wants us to wait, Sumei answered through the network. It wants us to stop treating assistants as a race. Zhao Lan looked toward the opening barrier. I dislike that. Everyone dislikes it, Bai Ning said. Tang Lin examined the shared resonance values. If one person attempts to take priority, the network weakens. Shen Yu saw no future ranking to consult. Lin Shu held Bao. Qin Yu made the first choice. Junior brother, yes. I withdraw my claim to priority. The sword resonance steadied. Sumei followed. I will not compete while your foundation is damaged. Zhao Lan exhaled. Fine. Fine. No race. Bai Ning smiled without hiding behind humor. I prefer an uncertain truth anyway. Tang Lin closed her ranking calculations. Collective efficiency is currently superior. That is not the emotional point. Bai Ning said. It is still true. Shen Yu allowed the future to remain unseen. Lin Shui stroked Bao's fur. Junior brother chooses for himself. The individual ranking disappeared completely. Always 7 independent acknowledgements recorded. Collective trust threshold reached. The black barriers shattered. 7 beams of color crossed Hidden Cloud Mountain and entered the central hall. The sisters appeared around Lu Chen one after another. Qin Yu reached him first, but stopped before touching him. Sumei knelt and examined his meridians. The fracture is stable. Can he fight? Zhao Lan asked. No, Lu Chen started to object. No, Lu Chen started to object. 7 women looked at him. He reconsidered. Not immediately. Better, Sumei said. She began treating. The others formed a defensive circle rather than rushing toward the cavern. Master Yun's warning returned to Lu Chen. Do not make him carry every path alone. The 7 heart system opened a hidden memory within the mountain. The central emblem dissolved beneath them. Ancient light filled the hall. A woman in founder's robes appeared above the formation. Her face remained indistinct, but her voice carried through every resonance line. The heart of Hidden Cloud is not consumption. 7 cultivators stood around her memory, each carrying a different path. At their center stood a young man practicing a plain foundation art. The center does not own the outer paths. The outer paths do not exist to feed the center. Each preserves what the others lack. Ancient system characters appeared, now a destined cultivation partner. Their older meaning unfolded beneath them. One who willingly shares a lifelong cultivation path. No number followed. No single winner condition appeared. The founder's memory continued. Affection cannot be commanded. Trust cannot be stolen. Compatibility without consent is merely control. The 7 sisters watched the original formation activate. All 8 cultivators received power. None lost their path. Lu Chen finally understood why Mo Tian called him empty. Black Heaven Hall believed emptiness meant a vessel waiting to consume. The nameless foundation art used emptiness as space where different paths could meet without being erased. The memory faded. A new system message remained. Original purpose recovered. Mutual resonance available. Above the main hall, the blood moon climbed higher. A deep impact shook the mountain. Then, another. Mo Tian had entered the central cavern. "We move," Chen Yue said. Sumai finished binding Lu Shen's unstable meridians with pale blue spiritual threads. "You do not attempt another breakthrough. I understand. You do not become the soul root. I understand. You remain within the formation. I understand. You remain within the formation." Zhao Lan offered him a hand. Lu Chen accepted it. That simple act sent a quiet pulse through all 7 paths. They left the hall together. Elder Han waited beside the entrance to the forbidden passage. Black medicine smoke surrounded him. Elder Luo stood on the opposite side within a layered green formation. "You completed the outer network," Elder Luo said. Tang Lin planted her flags. "You taught me how." His formation changed. Hers changed with it. Bai Ning concealed the real flags among dozens of false copies. Elder Luo attempted to identify Tang Lin's plan. There was no fixed plan to read. Zhao Lan advanced through Elder Han's medicine smoke without striking him. Sumai circulated the antidote through Zhao Lan's meridians while Qin Yu cut only the smoke supply lines. Elder Han activated his remaining poison furnace. Lu Chen saw its 9-pulse pattern. "Third chamber," he said. Sumai reversed the medical current. Zhao Lan stabilized the furnace's frame. Qin Yu cut the exposed core. The technique that had nearly destroyed the medicinal valley failed within 3 breaths. Elder Han retreated. Lin Shu's beasts blocked his escape path. Shen Yu anchored the group against Elder Luo's soul-disrupting formation. Tang Lin opened a moving gap beneath him. Bai Ning made the gap appear 2 steps away. Elder Luo entered the false safe position. His own formation closed around him. The 2 elders were trapped within the adaptive array as allied cultivators reached the upper mountain. Wei Feng took control of their confinement. "Go," he told Lu Chen. "We can hold what remains above." The stone door behind Master Yun's residence opened. The forbidden passage descended beneath the 7 peaks. 8 disciples entered. 8 disciples entered. The mountain's spiritual energy grew warmer with every step. At the bottom, they reached a circular gate marked with the same 7 clouds and empty center. This time, all 8 symbols glowed. Lu Chen placed his hand against the center. The gate opened. Beyond it stretched a cavern vast enough to contain the roots of hidden Cloud Mountain. A luminous spiritual heart floated above an ancient platform. 7 black chains pierced the surrounding formation. Master Yun hung within the central seal, his remaining power holding the chains apart. His eyes opened when the disciples entered. Mo Tian stood before him. The Black Heaven Hall Master had removed his mask. Stolen spiritual energy moved beneath his dark robes in 7 conflicting colors. He looked at the reunited disciples without surprise. Then his gaze settled on Lu Chen. The empty center has finally arrived. Mo Tian raised one hand. 7 colors of stolen spiritual energy rotated around his palm. Red sword light, pale blue medicine, golden body force, purple illusion mist, pink formation lines, silver soul fire, dark green beast energy. Each current was powerful enough to shake the cavern. None moved in harmony. Lu Chen sensed them colliding beneath the surface, tearing at the channels Mo Tian had forced them to share. "You misunderstand emptiness," Lu Chen said. Mo Tian smiled. Master Yun said the same thing before he trapped himself inside that seal. Master Yun's eyes narrowed. "I said considerably more. You usually do," Chen Yu replied. Even suspended within the central formation, Master Yun looked mildly offended. Mo Tian closed his hand. The 7 currents became one mass of unstable power. "You spent years practicing a foundation without a path. Your senior sisters crossed the 9 provinces gathering the inheritances you lacked. Sword, medicine, body, illusion, formation, soul, beast." His gaze moved across the 7 women. Now the system has ripened their compatibility and delivered them to the center. The spiritual heart pulsed behind him. You need only take what they cultivated. Lu Chen answered before Mo Tian. Finished. No. The refusal carried no hesitation. Mo Tian's smile thinned. You do not yet understand the offer. I understand it well enough. You would rise beyond Golden Core in a single night. Hidden Cloud Mountain would recognize you as its sole inheritor. Every path would become yours. They are not mine to take. 7 resonance lines brightened. Mo Tian looked toward them. A sentimental answer from someone standing beneath a collapsing mountain. The black chains tightened around the spiritual heart. Master Yun's projection flickered. Do not let him draw more power from the seal, he warned. The mountain cannot withstand it. Mo Tian moved. His red sword light reached Lu Chen before the sound of the strike. Qin Yue intercepted it. 2 red arcs collided between them. The cavern floor split along a narrow line. Qin Yue slid backward. The stolen sword intent pressed against hers with the force of a nascent soul cultivator, approaching spirit transformation. Mo Tian had copied its shape. Speed. Sharpness. Overwhelming direction. He had not copied the years Qin Yue spent deciding what her sword should protect. She stepped forward again. Mo Tian's pale blue energy moved behind the sword light. The crack his attack created closed. Sumei's expression changed. He is using stolen medical circulation to repair the technique. The red sword struck again. Qin Yue cut it apart. Pale blue light restored it before the fragments dispersed. Golden body force entered the attack, making it heavier. Purple illusion mist concealed its true direction. Formation lines multiplied the strike. Silver soul pressure prevented ordinary spiritual perception from tracking it. Dark green beast instinct allowed it to react without conscious command. 7 corrupted paths formed one attack. Lu Chen's formation sense expanded. The strike contained enormous power. It also contained 7 contradictions. Left, he said. Qin Yue shifted right. The command sounded wrong. Mo Tian's attack adjusted to follow her. That was what Lu Chen expected. Lin Shu sent Bao across the opposite side of the cavern. The beast current sensed the movement and divided. Bai Ning placed a false Qin Yu beside the real one. The illusion current hesitated over which target to conceal. Tang Lin altered one formation node beneath the attack. The multiplied sword lights lost alignment. Shen Yu anchored Qin Yue's consciousness against the soul pressure. Zhao Lan stepped between the remaining force and Lu Chen. Sumei redirected its medical circulation away from the fractured sword intent. Qin Yu cut the exposed center. The attack collapsed. Mo Tian's gaze sharpened. Lu Chen had not countered any stolen path with its original owner alone. He had made the paths interfere with one another. Interesting, Mo Tian said. He pressed both hands together. The cavern changed. Stone disappeared beneath a vast illusion of a black sky. Formation lines rose like walls. Corrupted spirit beasts emerged from the darkness. Their bodies were shaped from stolen energy rather than living flesh, but their instincts carried genuine aggression. Purple mist separated the 8 disciples. Tang Lin planted a flag. The ground moved before it touched. He's changing the formation faster than I can establish it. Do not establish it, Lu Chen said. Keep it adaptive. Tang Lin changed the flag's purpose before it landed. Instead of fixing the ground, it linked her position to Bai Ning's. Bai Ning covered the formation line with an illusion. Mo Tian's green beast constructs followed the visible path. The true connection remained hidden. Lin Shu whistled. Bao led the false beasts toward the western edge of the cavern. They are not alive, she said. But the instincts inside them came from living beasts. Can you reach those instincts? Lu Chen asked. Not while he controls the formation. Tang Lin heard her. She redirected 3 nodes toward Lin Shu. Bai Ning concealed them. Shen Yu protected Lin Shu's consciousness as she entered the corrupted beast network. The green constructs stopped. For one moment, they looked toward Lin Shu rather than Mo Tian. They are frightened, she said. Release them, Lu Chen replied. Lin Shu opened beast communion. The stolen instincts left Mo Tian's constructs and returned to the mountain's living spiritual network. The false beasts dissolved. Dark green energy escaped from Mo Tian's control. One of the 7 currents had broken free. Mo Tian closed his fingers. The energy stopped before it reached the cavern walls. Black chains dragged it back. He is using the spiritual heart to force the path to remain, Sumei said. Then separate the chains from the paths, Lu Chen replied. Mo Tian heard him. You speak as if you possess time. He struck the cavern floor. Golden force erupted beneath Zhao Lan. She met it with both hands. The impact lifted her from the ground and threw her backward. She landed on one knee. then rose. The stolen body force rushed toward her again. Zhao Lan prepared to meet it directly. Lu Chen saw the trap. "Do not strike it." "I know." She shifted aside at the final moment. The golden force continued toward Sumei. Qin Yue could cut it, but the resulting shock would reach Master Yun's seal. Zhao Lan moved behind the attack. Instead of opposing it, she guided its momentum upward. Tang Lin opened a formation route through the cavern ceiling. The force entered it and returned beneath Mo Tian. He absorbed the impact with one arm. For the first time his stance shifted. Zhao Lan grinned. "That was mine." "No," Lu Chen said. "It was his. Even better." Mo Tian released silver soul pressure. Shen Yu's soul anchor spread around the group. 7 conflicting voices entered Lu Chen's mind. One told him Qin Yue would fall if he continued. Another showed Sumei's meridians failing. A third warned that the mountain would collapse before his breakthrough. Each voice carried Shen Yu's spiritual signature. None came from her. Mo Tian had stolen fragments from the 7 paths, including their weaknesses. He knew Qin Yue feared failing to protect the family. Sumei feared becoming the one who needed saving. Zhao Lan feared weakness. Bai Ning feared that no one would believe her sincerity. Tang Lin feared an uncontrollable future. Shen Yu feared uncertainty itself. Lin Shui feared abandonment. The soul attack turned those fears toward Lu Chen. He saw 7 resonance lines weaken. The individual ranking returned above them. Bai Ning stood first. Then Xin Yu. Then Qin Yu. Then Qin. The positions changed each breath. A message appeared. Highest candidate may become the soul cultivation partner. Lu Chen stared at it. The wording was almost correct. Almost. The true system had said a candidate may become his destined cultivation partner. It had never used the word soul. False interface, he said. The ranking remained. Qin Yue saw herself fall to last place after choosing to defend Master Yun. Sumai rose whenever Lu Shen depended upon her treatment. Zhao Lan gained points for taking attacks meant for him. The false system rewarded possessiveness, dependency, and reckless protection. Everything the real system had rejected. Mo Tian's voice moved through the illusion. Connection is only competition disguised by polite words. When survival matters, they will choose themselves. Shen Yu looked at the false ranking. Then she cut through her own name. Red light erased it from the interface. "I trusted Lu Chen when every instinct told me to attack," she said. That trust did not become less because another person understood him differently. Su Mei dissolved her name with medicinal fire. "I cared, Darren. For me, when I refused to admit I needed help, I will not turn that care into a weapon against my sisters." Zhao Lan struck her false score with one finger. "He told me to stop when continuing would have been easier. I trust him to choose without being carried." Bai Ning smiled at the illusion surrounding her. "He recognizes when I am pretending. Did you truly believe this would fool him?" Her name vanished. Tang Lin looked at the ranking once. The calculation lacks valid assumptions. She erased the entire column. Shen Yu closed her eyes. "I cannot see what Lu Chen will choose. I no longer require certainty to remain beside him." Lin Shui lifted Bao. "He likes all of us." Bao made a sound that might have been agreement. Lin Shu dismissed the final score. The false interface shattered. Soul Anchor restored the cavern. Mo Tian stood before them with silver energy leaking between his fingers. The stolen soul path had lost its connection. 2 corrupted currents were gone. Lu Shen's limited system interface returned. False competitive structure rejected. E7 sincere resonances confirmed. Mutual trust confirmed. Mutual trust confirmed. Eightfold. Hidden cloud formation available. The ancient symbols. Hidden cloud formation available. The ancient symbol. Beneath the 8 disciples lit. 7 outer positions. 1 center. The system opened the route. It did not provide the power required to complete it. Lu Chen's damaged foundation remained below Golden Core. Mo Tian remained near Spirit Transformation. Master Yun still held the central seal together. The gap between them was real. So was the rub they had earned. "Take your positions," Lu Chen said. The sisters moved. Qin Yu stood at sword. Sumei at medicine. Chao Lan at body. Bai Ning at illusion. Tang Lin at formation. Shen Yu at soul. Lin Shu at beast. Lu Chen entered the empty center. Mo Tian's remaining 5 currents gathered around him. "You are repeating my method with prettier language." Lu Chen looked at the formation beneath his feet. "No. You stand in the center while they give you everything. They are not giving it to me." 7 paths began moving. They are giving it to one another. Qin Yu's sword intent entered first. It did not become Lu Chen's sword. It gave the formation direction. Sumum medical circulation entered next. It preserved each path without allowing one to consume another. Zhao Lan's body force stabilized the cavern and gave the spiritual network a structure capable of bearing the pressure. Bai Ning concealed the formation's true movement. Tang Lin connected every changing current through an adaptive array. Shen Yu anchored 8 independent consciousnesses without merging them. Lin Shui linked the formation to every living root, beast, and spiritual current on Hidden Cloud Mountain. Lu Shen circulated the nameless foundation art. His task was not to contain 7 complete paths. It was to remain open between them. Sword reached medicine through him. Medicine reached body. Body supported illusion. Illusion protected formation. Formation carried soul. Soul strengthened beast communion. Beast energy returned to sword through the living mountain. A complete circle formed. Mo Tian attacked. His stolen sword struck Lu Chen's center. Qin Yue felt the direction before the blade appeared. She redirected it toward Tang Lin. Tang Lin changed its formation structure. Sumei removed the stolen medical circulation sustaining it. Zhao Lan absorbed its remaining force. Bai Ning hid where that force went. Lin Shui turned it through the mountain roots beneath Mo Tian. The attack rose under his feet. He blocked it. The 7 black chains around the spiritual heart trembled. Again, Lu Chen said. The formation accelerated. His damaged foundation opened. The 7 incomplete spaces within it aligned around a central point. He had attempted to force them together during the siege. Now, he did nothing of the kind. He allowed each foundation to remain distinct. Sword intent became the first edge of the forming core. Meridian restoration became its circulation. Tempered body became its stability. Clear mind preserved its internal clarity. Formation sense linked its structure. Soul anchor protected its identity. Beast communion connected it to living spiritual energy. 7 foundations, 1 resonant center. A golden light formed inside Lu Shen's cultivation base. The light compressed. The cavern shook. Mo Tian raised both hands. You cannot complete it while your foundation remains fractured. Su Mei felt the weakness before he spoke. Her pale blue energy entered the damaged section. Not to remove it. To support the natural repair, Zhao Lan reinforced Lu Shen's physical foundation. Shen Yu anchored his consciousness. Qin Yue gave the breakthrough direction. Tang Lin adapted the formation around every change. Bai Ning concealed the vulnerable center. Lin Shu drew clean energy from the restored forest node. Lu Chen completed the final circulation. The 7-fold resonant core formed. Golden light filled the empty center. Lu Chen crossed into golden core. No path disappeared into him. Every senior sister felt her own cultivation respond. Qin Yue's rigid sword. Intent gained the ability to change direction without losing purpose. The lingering damage inside Sumei's meridians stabilized. Zhao Lan's body path balanced strength with recovery. Bai Ning's illusions became clearer because they no longer required her to hide from the truth. Tang Lin's formation adapted without losing structure. Shen Yu's soul remained steady even when the future disappeared. Lin Shu's bonds strengthened without control marks. The 8-fold hidden cloud formation awakened. Light rose through the 7 peaks. Above the mountain, the black pillars cracked. Outer disciples and allied cultivators saw 8 colors cross the night sky. The blood moon's red light struck the restored formation and divided harmlessly around it. Mo Tian stepped backward. His stolen currents recoiled from the completed circle. He forced them together. Black chains tightened. The spiritual heart dimmed. Master Yun's face lost color. "He is drawing directly from the mountain," Tang Lin said. "Then we remove the chains," Lu Chen replied. Mo Tian laughed. "You cannot cut them without breaking the seal." Qin Yu studied the chains. He was correct. Each one had been woven into the protective formation. Severing them directly would release the spiritual heart's uncontrolled energy. Lu Shen saw a different solution. Second senior sister, identify the chain circulation. Su Mei extended meridian restoration through the formation. The black chains carried stolen energy outward and forced corrupted energy back into the spiritual heart. 2 directions, she said. He turned the seal's circulation against itself. Fifth senior sister, separate the roots. Tang Lin spread her adaptive array across the chains. The structure changed each time Mo Tian forced more power through it. Tang Lin changed with it, separated. Fourth senior sister, conceal the returning path. Bai Ning replaced the visible route with a false one. Mo Tian's control followed the illusion. Seventh senior sister, reconnect the true path to the mountain. Lin Shuo opened beast communion. Living energy entered the empty root. Sixth senior sister, anchor master. Shen Yu reached the consciousness within the seal. Master Yuan's eyes cleared. Third senior sister, hold the heart stable. Zhao Lan placed both palms against the formation. The spiritual heart expanded. Her body cultivation took the physical strain from the surrounding cavern. Stone cracked beneath her feet. She remained steady. Eldest senior sister, Qin Yu raised her sword. Lu Shen's golden core showed her the decisive point, not the chain. The stolen intention controlling it. She cut once. The red line passed through all 7 chains without touching their structure. Mo Tian's control separated from them. The spiritual heart released Master Yun. He fell from the seal. Sume caught him with a current of pale blue energy and lowered him safely outside the central platform. The 7 chains turned silver. Their original purpose returned. They bound the spiritual heart without draining it. Mo Tian stood alone. The stolen paths inside him had lost their external source. They began rejecting one another. Sword energy cut against his medical circulation. Body force shattered his illusion channels. Formation lines restricted his soul energy. Beast instinct refused his command. He attempted to force the contradictions down. Lu Shen stepped forward. You treated every path as something to possess. Mo Tian's aura surged. I reached farther than any of you could alone. And now you are alone. Mo Tian released everything. The resulting mass no longer resembled a technique. It was raw, conflicting power directed at the center of the formation. Lu Chen did not meet it alone. The 8 disciples moved. Qin Yu cut an opening through its direction. Sumai preserved its the safe circulation route. Zhao Lan held the formation steady. Bai Ning concealed their true target. Tang Lin turned 8 positions into one moving structure. Shen Yu anchored every consciousness. Lin Shui connected the attack to the living mountain. Lu Chen harmonized the final current. 8 colors formed a single cloud-shaped seal. It passed through Mo Tian's stolen power. The corrupted paths separated. Each returned to the spiritual network from which it had been taken. Mo Tian's aura fell from the edge of spirit transformation. Then from nascent soul's peak, his control formations broke. The cloud seal closed around him. He struck it once. Nothing happened. The seal did not overpower him by matching his force. It redirected every attack into the mountain's restored circulation. He stopped. For the first time, fear entered his expression. You built a prison from their power. No, Lu Chen said. From yours. Mo Tian's final attack returned through the adaptive formation and sealed his cultivation channels. The Black Heaven Hall Master fell to one knee. The cavern became quiet. Above them, the 7 black pillars disappeared. The spiritual heart brightened. Clean energy spread through hidden Cloud Mountain. Dead formation lines repaired themselves. Water returned to the diverted spring. Fresh shoots pushed through the damaged medicinal valley. The outer peaks awakened one by one. Master Yun sat against the base of the seal while Su Mei examined him. I'm perfectly fine, he said. You were trapped inside an ancient formation for several days. I meditated. You were holding back 7 corrupted chains. Very productive chains. Very productive. Meditation. Su Mei gave him a pill. He accepted it without another argument. Zhao An looked at Lu Shen. He listens to her faster than we do. He has more experience, Lu Shen replied. Qin Yu approached Mo Tian's sealed position. The Black Heaven Hall Master remained conscious, but his access to the stolen paths was gone. All outer Black Heaven cultivators have lost their formation support. Shen Yu said. The allied sects will contain them. Tang Lin inspected the spiritual heart. The mountain is stable. Ling Shu looked Shu. Look. Toward Bao. The fox had climbed onto Master Yun's lap and begun searching his sleeves for food. Bai Ning leaned against an intact pillar. SOE 1. Master Yun looked across his 8 disciples. You completed the formation. You sound surprised, Qin Yu said. Proud. The answer prevented the lecture she had prepared. Only briefly. You activated a marriage system and disappeared without explaining it. Master Yun looked toward the cavern ceiling as if expecting another emergency. None arrived. I explained the essential purpose. You told us to open the jade slips at sunrise, and to trust the center. You did not explain the rankings, Tang Lin said. The founder designed those. You activated them, Zhao Lan replied. Master Yun attempted to stand. Su Mei pressed him back down. The mountain still requires inspection, he said. After you answer, Qin Yue said. Mo Tian looked between them from inside the seal. For the first time that night, his defeat appeared almost merciful. Dawn reached Hidden Cloud Mountain before the 8 disciples left the cavern. Iron Sword Sect had secured the lower roads. Wei Feng waited outside the forbidden passage, with several captured Black Heaven cultivators. When Lu Chen emerged at the center of 7 senior sisters, golden light still moving faintly beneath his white and navy robes. Wei Feng sensed the difference. Golden core, Lu Shen nodded. You were Foundation establishment when we met. Das. That was less than 2 weeks ago. There were unusual circumstances. Wei Feng looked at the 7 awakened peaks, the repaired mountain formation, and Master Yun arguing with Qin Yu behind them. That description seems insufficient. Mo Tian and the surviving Black Heaven elders were transferred into a joint seal maintained by a hidden cloud sect, an Iron Sword sect. The ledgers recovered from 7 Lantern City exposed Black Heaven Hall's resource network across the eastern province. Without the corrupted spiritual nodes and Mo Tian's formation control, the hidden faction collapsed quickly. Some members fled. Most surrendered when their stolen cultivation methods stopped functioning. The allied sects spent the following weeks dismantling the remaining sites. Hidden Cloud Mountain required more patient work. The spiritual spring recovered first. Its water emerged clearer than before because Tang Lin rebuilt the natural circulation using Lu Chen's formation sense. The medicinal valley took longer. The lost frost orchids did not return. Neither did the oldest red heart flowers. Sumai replanted the surviving roots with outer disciples, and accepted that restoration would be measured in seasons rather than days. Zhao Lan rebuilt the damaged training terraces with the disciples she had protected during the siege. She no longer encouraged them to continue through every injury. Several suspected she had been replaced by an illusion. Bai Ning proved otherwise by appearing beside her and providing 3 convincing copies of the old Zhao Lan. Tang Lin restored the 7 peak formations without fixing every possible variable. Each formation contained adaptive roots capable of changing when the mountain changed. Shen Yu returned to Moonwatch Peak. Her destroyed divination mirrors remained broken. She kept 1 silver fragment above her desk, not to view the future, but to remember that uncertainty had not destroyed them. Lin Shui opened the spiritual beast garden. The gates remained open. Most beasts returned by sunset. Yue visited from Soul Mist Forest and left again freely. Bao never left because Lu Chen kept dried fish in his cultivation courtyard. Hidden Cloud Sect's reputation changed more quickly than the mountain. Cultivators arrived to see the restored 7 peaks. Families sent disciples requesting admission. The 7 Lantern Elders publicly credited Tang Lin and Lu Chen with saving the city formation. Iron Sword Sect acknowledged that Lu Shen had uncovered the conspiracy before any established expert. Stories spread. Some exaggerated his strength. Others claimed he had defeated Mo Tian alone. Lu Chen corrected those whenever he heard them. No one believed his corrections were modest enough to be accurate. Master Yun formally opened the restored main hall 1 month after the battle. Representatives from neighboring sects filled the courtyard. Xin Yu stood beside the sect band. Sumai managed the visiting healers. Zhao Lan supervised security and frightened several arrogant guests without needing to speak. Bai Ning ensured the ceremony looked suitably impressive. Tang Lin controlled the mountain's new formation. Shen Yu received the delegations. Lin Shui prevented Bao from stealing the ceremonial offerings until the 3rd table. Lu Chen stood before the founder's restored emblem. Master Yun placed the Hidden Cloud successor seal in his hands. The Nameless Foundation art has recovered its true inheritance, Master Yun announced. From this day, Lu Shen is recognized as successor to the Hidden Cloud Dao and keeper of the Eightfold Formation. The gathered cultivators bowed. Lu Chen looked toward his 7 senior sisters. Each stood within her own path. None stood behind him. The distinction mattered. He accepted the seal. The ceremony ended before Bai Ning's decorative cloud illusion could begin raining flower petals into the medicinal tea. The family feast that evening was private. 8 disciples and 1 master occupied the restored dining hall. Bao sat beneath the table. No visiting dignitaries remained. No enemies threatened the mountain. No formation required immediate repair. For the first time since Master Yun disappeared, the 7 sisters could discuss the system without interruption. Tang Lin placed the original jade slips on the table. The individual ranking has not returned. Good, Chen Yu said. Zhao Lan looked unconvinced. It could have been useful for measuring progress. Progress toward what? Sumei asked. Zhao Lan considered this. That is the unresolved part. Bai Ning turned toward Lu Shen. He had spent most of the meal quietly eating. Now 7 women watched him with the same focus they had shown on the first morning. He set down his cup. I recognize why you competed. Lin Shui leaned forward. And I do not intend to select a cultivation partner, because the system assigns points. No one objected. Any relationship beyond what we already share must be chosen. Honestly, he continued, by everyone involved, without missions forcing the result. Qin Yu nodded first. Su Mei followed. One by one the sisters agreed. The 7 heart system appeared above the table. Original trial completed. Data US7 sincere resonances confirmed. Eightfold hidden cloud formation stabilized. Individual competition phase concluded. Relief entered the room. Relief entered the room. Then the next message appeared. Joint courtship phase unlocked. Tang Lin's cup stopped halfway to her mouth. All cooperative missions available. Bai Ning read faster. Final partner limit, undetermined. The dining hall became silent. 7 senior sisters slowly turned toward one another. Master Yun moved his chair 1 finger width toward the door. Qin Yue noticed. Master. He stopped. You created this problem, she said. The founder created the system. You activated it, Tang Lin replied. That distinction feels important. It is not, Zhao Lan said. Master Yun rose. The spiritual heart requires monitoring. Shen Yu closed her eyes briefly. Every escape route fails. Bai Ning covered the door with an illusion of a stone wall. Tang Lin activated the dining hall's locking formation. Qin Yue stood between Master Yun and the nearest window. Sumai placed a small medicine bottle on the table. Master Yun looked at it. What is that? Something to improve honest explanations. Is it necessary? Yes. Zhao Lan rolled one shoulder. We could also spar until his memory improves. Lin Shui looked beneath the table. Bao, the fox emerged with the table. Bao, the fox emerged with it. Master Yun's shoes in his mouth. Master Yun looked toward Lu Shen. Your master is being mistreated. Lu Chen considered the 7 women surrounding him. You told them to trust the center. I did. I believe answering their questions is safest. Master Yun stared at him. You have changed. I reached Golden Core. That is not what I meant. The 7 Heart System issued 7 new private missions. Every sister read hers. Several expressions changed. Tang Lin opened her notebook. Bai Ning smiled. Zhao Lan looked pleased. Su Mai quietly moved 1 chair closer to Lu Shen. Qin Yue restored order before the new competition could begin. We agreed not to let the system control us. We did, Bai Ning said. That does not mean we ignore useful suggestions. What did your mission say? Private information. The old Dachai. Private information. The old... Argument returned with impressive speed. Lu Shen listened for several moments. This time, he understood every unfinished sentence, strategic seat change, and suspiciously casual suggestion. He understood why Su Mei had prepared his preferred tea, why Zhao Lan had proposed morning training, why Bai Ning had mentioned the moonlit lake, why Tang Lin had already redesigned the courtyard schedule, why Shen Yu remained silent while hiding a faint smile, why Lin Shu had sent Bao to occupy the cushion beside him, why Qin Yu was trying to control a meeting that no longer wished to be controlled. The knowledge was more frightening than ignorance had been. It was also warmer. Lu Shen stood and collected his cultivation mat from beside the door. 7 voices stopped. Where are you going? Zhao Lan asked. To cultivate. Now? Lin Shui said. The mountain's energy is most stable before sunrise. Bai Ning looked toward the dark windows. Sunrise is several hours away. I plan to begin. Early. Tang Lin examined him. You are escaping. I learned from Master. Master Yun looked proud until Qin Yu turned toward him again. Lu Chen opened the side door before Tang Lin's formation could reach it. The argument resumed behind him. Not over scores. Not over who had won. Over who would join his morning cultivation and what counted as cooperative courtship. He crossed the restored courtyard beneath 7 glowing peaks. At the training platform he unrolled his mat. Bao appeared a moment later, dropped Master Yun's shoes beside him, and curled up at the edge. Lu Chen looked back at the warm light in the dining hall. His master was home. His senior sisters were together. Hidden Cloud Mountains stood without black pillars, broken seals, or silent peaks. For years Lu Chen had believed he was the ordinary disciple who waited while 7 geniuses pursued greater paths. Now, he understood. He had not been waiting outside their stories. He had been preserving the place where all 8 paths could meet. Lu Chen smiled. Then he sat beneath the approaching dawn and began cultivating.